evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening. Welcome to Akins Ford Arena. Tonight's matchup features the Columbus
That makes me very happy.
taking on your Athens Rock Lobsters. I'm Joe Dennis, and the countdown to puck drop is officially underway.
Check 1 2. Check.
And number 97, Cameron Campbell.
24 hours later and 180 miles down the road, two Georgia teams square off once again in the Classic City. This time, though, will the River Dragons feel as comfortable in a den that's not their own, or will the Rock Lobsters continue to make Akins Ford Arena feel like home? Good evening, Crustacean Nation, and welcome to the Lobster Tank, Akins Ford Arena, where the Columbus River Dragons take on your Athens Rock Lobsters. Matt Teen Rad bringing you all the action live here on the Athens Rock Lobster Network, whether it be on the official Athens Rock Lobster YouTube page or live on the airwaves with WGAU 98.7 FM and AM 1340. Let's get the show started with the Piedmont Athens Regional pregame show. This is the first of 9 straight home games for Athens. It was a hard-fought game by the Athens Rock Lobsters last night against Columbus, but they weren't able to find the win at the end of the game. The River Dragons would end up scoring first as Stephen Klink followed up his own rebound with a shot into the top shelf to give Columbus a 1-0 lead in the second period. Carter Shinkarik would strike back 3 minutes later, starting a move in his own zone before bombing up the left wing. Garrett Milan would find his partner with the return pass, and the puck was flipped in with the backhand past Matt Petizian. The River Dragons thought they took the lead toward the end of the second after a shot from Cody Wickline went bar down on the Rock Lobster net, but a video review nullified the goal. Through 2 meetings, regulation hasn't been able to separate the two sides, but the River Dragons escaped the necessity for a shootout with a goal with less than a minute away from penalties. Ryan Hunter, who has been on fire as of late for Columbus, pushed a rebound through the 5-hole of Josh Rosenzweig to secure the 2 points for the River Dragons. But now we're back in Akins Ford Arena, and it's the perfect opportunity for the immediate bounce back for the Rock Lobsters on their home ice. For those of you that are watching on our YouTube stream, you can take a look at the standings as they appear on your screen right now. The Baton Rouge Zydeco at the top of the Continental Division, but mind you, they have now played 10 more games than the Athens Rock Lobsters. Columbus River Dragons with 9 more points than the Rock Lobsters as well, but they have played 5 more games than the Athens team. Now it's time for the Fan Saves Impact Players of the game. First for the River Dragons, it's Ryan Hunter, coming over from the Pensacola Ice Flyers in the SPHL. Ryan Hunter has logged points in all but 1 game since he made his River Dragon debut. He has logged 6 goals and 6 assists thus far. For the Rock Lobsters, tonight's impact player is Michael Greco, and he made quite an impact in his first Rock Lobster game last night. A literal impact, that is. Greco laid the body multiple times last night, and he got involved with extracurricular activities multiple times in the contest. He is someone that the Rock Lobster fans, I think, will be very, very proud of. The impact players of the game are brought to you by Fan Saves. Download Fan Saves and follow the Athens Rock Lobsters to check out the Rock Lobsters digital coupon book. It's time now for the starting lineup brought to you by Akins Ford. It looks like Carter Shinkarik is back in the defensive position for the Rock Lobsters, being paired once again with Riley Robertson. Garrett Milan and Malik Johnson are back with Justin Portillo, who makes his return to the lineup. Given how that game ended at the second period last night, and towards the end of that game, it was a very, very back-and-forth physical contest, and it almost ended in a brawl in the second period. It will be interesting to see the implications of Justin Portillo getting the start tonight. Jack Bostad in the cage for Steve Martinson. The team physician supplied by Piedmont Athens Regional is Dr. Alec Graff. Starting lineups are once again brought to you by Akins Ford, the largest Ford dealership in Georgia. It has been the start of a beautiful in-state rivalry between these two teams. Who could take advantage in the all-time series tonight? Taking a look at the Rock Lobsters, the power play has been a point of contention for the Rock Lobsters as of late. They are now 9 of 56 on power plays for a 16.1 percentage. The Rock Lobsters are going to want to be formidable against the top teams in the division, which no doubt the Columbus River Dragons are one of those teams. They're going to have to try and pick it up on special teams, or at least half of their special teams, because their penalty kill has been terrific this season, an 82.5% PK rate for the Rock Lobsters this year. Meanwhile, the Columbus River Dragons are 14 for 60 on power plays this year. That's the second best power play rate in the league. And now you can see the Athens Rock Lobsters making their way to the ice. It's getting to be the start of the show here. It has already been an extremely exciting start to this FPHL in-state rivalry between the Athens Rock Lobsters and the Columbus River Dragons. We told you about last night's game, but don't forget the first time these two teams met, it was a 6-5 scoreline that needed a shootout. Rock Lobsters would ultimately get the win, but it took a lot out of the Athens team. Kason Gallant scoring with about 5 seconds left on the clock in regulation. Taking a look at the starters for tonight, once again, Garrett Milan, Justin Portillo. Justin Portillo is scratched last night. Going to be interested to see how energetic and motivated he is coming into this game. Malik Johnson has been a physical player all season long, but someone that probably wants to get on the score sheet a little bit more. Riley Robertson, who stands at 6'6", had an amazing heavyweight fight last night with Hunter Bersani, which Riley Robertson took handily, I think. And then, of course, Carter Shinkarik, who's been the Swiss Army knife for the Rock Lobsters this year. Played at forward yesterday, will get played back in the defensive position today, will the Rock Lobster captain. Jack Bostet in net for the Rock Lobsters, and it'll be interesting to see what Steve Martinson's plan with his goaltenders going forward are. We haven't had a 2-game weekend in a long time. This will be the first time in a long time. We saw Rosenzweig last night, Jack Bostet getting the start for head coach Steve Martinson tonight. Taking a look at the starters for the Columbus River Dragons. Hugh Anderson, Connor Lind, Scott Doherty, Hunter Bersani, and Alexander Jemayev. No shock that with the way that Matt Petizian played last night that he gets the start in net once again. It's time for the national anthem here in Akins Ford Arena. We send it to the ice. Betsy Frank with the national anthem tonight. And that brings us closer to the action here in Akins Ford Arena. I think everybody involved with this organization was excited to get back to action here in Akins Ford with how everything went for the organization last Friday. It was such a night to remember. The Rock Lobsters took the lead 3 different times against the Mississippi Seawolves. We have our ceremonial puck drop here in the building. Some complaints on the YouTube broadcast about the sound isn't being super clean. I'm trying to work on it at home. Let me know if you guys are hearing any improvements. We've got multiple people who've served our nation getting involved with a ceremonial puck drop tonight. Trying to bring down the crowd mic a little bit, putting myself up in the broadcast a little bit. For those of you in the YouTube chat, letting me know. Please let me know if you guys are hearing any improvements. You guys have been great about that so far this season. Also appreciate all of the birthday wishes in the chat. Celebrating my 29th birthday with the Athens Rock Lobster family, who I love so much. Thank you so much. So glad that I can celebrate it with the teddy bear toss tonight as well. Looking forward to that. I've got a stuffed fox up here in the booth. Can't wait to throw that to the ice. Getting ready for the puck drop. Jemayev going up against Milan, and the River Dragons win the draw. Trying to get started up early. A shot from long distance just narrowly misses the net of Jack Bostet. Here come the Rock Lobsters with speed the other way. Garrett Milan tries the wrist shot. A great save from Matt Petizian, who gets started where he left off from last night. Put into the zone further behind the net. Milan unable to shake off the big body of Jemayev. Malik Johnson brought down to the ice, and Carter Shinkarik will recycle. Puck in the neutral zone, carried into the Rock Lobster ice by Ryan Galvin. Ooh, 2-3 quick saves made by Bostet. Really good job from quick distance, and then the puck is covered by Jack Bostet. About 50 seconds through in this game, and the River Dragons have already had the better chances. Columbus was able to get the better of the Rock Lobsters in the shot column last night. Right now, they lead that category 2-1. Offensive zone draw here for the River Dragons. But the Rock Lobsters win it through Philip Virgili. That puck just skips past Kaysen Gallant. Gallant with a great defensive play. Can't follow up with it. Slapped into the zone by Michael Greco, but I think that one took a piece of a Rock Lobster stick who was in an offside position, and the whistle gets blown. Clock reads 18:54. Looks like we're going to do the draw here at center ice. Galvin and Virgili. Virgili, a native of Sweden, but played D3 hockey in Massachusetts. Virgili gets kicked off of the face-off circle. Kaysen Gallant will take his place. Gallant almost with a win there, almost followed up with by Brendan Ronan, the newest Rock Lobster, who was added to the roster before the game last night. Puck dug into this near corner right below us here in the press box. Bouncing around like a pinball before it's settled by Kirk Underwood. Virgili with a good forecheck, though. Greco from long distance. A good save from Petizian. Don't know how quickly he saw that one. And now Philip Virgili getting mixed in with Nathan Balkwell, who slaps Virgili's stick away. We already knew how likely it was that we were going to see a fight tonight. We did see one in the game, but it felt very likely that we were going to see more at some point in the contest. It just never came to fruition. These two teams getting in each other's face quite a bit. And it looks like there's no exception tonight either. Brandon Reller, who's back in the lineup, digs that puck out. A wrist shot goes wide. Really good chance right out of the dot for the Rock Lobsters. Hunter Alden plays one with his skate. Really good play there from Slahetka to shake that puck free, and now the River Dragons are going to be able to enter. Pass gets intercepted by Matt Garcia. A great defensive play. And the puck cleared out by the Rock Lobsters. No icing as Popoff gathers the puck behind Petizian's net. Popoff has a pass to his left in Bersani. Milan carries the puck in. Daniil Glukaryov on the line here with Malik Johnson and Milan. Save forced there on the shot from Ryan Hunter. Bostet is equal to it. Jemayev with a quick bank pass off the Rock Lobster bench. Shot from Ryan Hunter, who's been electric for the River Dragons this year. Forces another save out of Bostet. Really good play all around from the River Dragons. Wickline is brought down to the ice. And we've got a stoppage in play due to another offside call. 16:45 left in the first period. Shots read 3-2 in favor of the River Dragons. Face off right in front of the River Dragon penalty box. Well done by Gallant, who got to the Virgili face-off here. Virgili with a shot from the left dot. And another great save from Petizian. Petizian has just been absolutely tremendous over these last two games. Getting his first start out of the injured reserve last game, and he made the most of his chance to impress. 23 saves in the win, made multiple big-time saves. Puck being pushed all around before it finds the calming presence of Hugh Anderson, helped on its way by Scott Doherty. Jack Bostedt thinks about playing the puck but doesn't get there in enough time. Luckily, the Rock Lobsters are able to get it into the neutral zone. Malik Johnson trying to treat two defensemen like saloon doors, uses the forecheck and brings the Rock Lobster crowd to an applause after that heavy hit into the end boards. The puck helped on its way by Petizian. Milan takes the body of Lind. Glukarioff wheeling around the far side, and Lind sends it into neutral ice. Shinkarik looking out on the ice in front of him. Milan spins around, finds Troy Murray, who digs it into the zone. Petizian gets to that puck first, sends it around the glass. Matt Garcia thinking about the way that he opened up the scoring against the Mississippi Seawolves. He's not going to find the back of the net this time. Here he is again. That shot takes a deflection into the glass right behind Petizian. A couple of physical checks exchanged between the two teams, and Storjahan dumps it in right at Bostedt. Chris Hunt. Justin Portillo. Storjahan gets to the loose puck. Couple of great passes leads to the shot, but Bostedt equal to it. Neither team have found the back of the net yet. A scoreless game through about 5 minutes. That puck finally comes out of the dot. Alden floats it towards Reller. Might turn up here for Reller again. Oh my goodness, what a save with the pads from Matt Petizian. Garcia saves it at the line. Shot just goes past Petizian's net. Portillo with a wrister. Shot gets blocked. Here come the River Dragons the other way. Through Ryan Hunter. Somero now on the right side. Gets ushered off the puck by Kolatarsi. Portillo tries to slap that one through. Slehetka. Kolatarsi able to find Reller at center ice. A fantastic pass for the man who looks like Thor, but Philip Virgili gets dispossessed. Potential 2-on-1 brewing here. Ryan Hunter with the puck. A great pass towards the crease, but an even better defensive play from Kolatarsi. Brendan Ronan. Rock Lobsters looking for a clean zone entry. It's been hard to come by thus far. Long dump into the zone. Petizian plays it with the stick, but only to Gallant. Shinkarik. Wrister. Puck loose out in the crease. Brendan Ronan hungry for his first Rock Lobster goal, but it's frozen by Petizian. Rock Lobsters and River Dragons go to the bench. That brings us to our first commercial break with 13:15 left to go. Rock Lobsters even with the River Dragons at 0-0. UGA football player Amarius Mims suffered a serious injury. The quality care from the Piedmont team changed his life.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
Welcome back to your review here at Akins Ford Arena. 13:15 left in the first period. Got a face-off in the offensive zone for the Rock Lobsters. Garrett Milan looks set to take it. The River Dragons end up coming off better with it. Have a chance to score. Backhanded shot from Austin Doe. Makes its route around the rink rather quickly. Shinkarik able to find Glukaryov right in front of the Rock Lobster bench. Couple of great passes. Shinkarik unable to settle that puck. Garrett Milan able to slap it free. Shinkarik returns the favor with a pass. Milan with a great move. Took one around the defender, and the Rock Lobsters are going to be the first team on the power play. Glukaryov in close. Anderson touches the puck, and we've got a call here with a trip going against the River Dragons. That puts us on the Paloma Park power play. If the Rock Lobsters score on the power play tonight, fans can unlock $3 tacos at Paloma Park for 24 hours through the FanSaves app. That was not something that they were able to do yesterday. The power play has been something that has struggled for the Rock Lobsters this season. Let's see if they can make it right. Be interesting to see who the crew here is. Kolatarsi, Brendan Ronan, Hunter Alden, Chris Hunt, and Michael Greco will get the start here on the power play. Looks like we might have some issue here with the ice. Referees and arena officials checking on it. Looks like we might be good to go. Hunter Alden going up against a fellow Hunter, Hunter Bersani. Puck dropped. River Dragons trying to get into an area where they can clear it, and that one goes over the glove of Kolatarsi as the River Dragons do just that. Call goes down as a hook against the River Dragons. Ryan Galvin with the infraction. Another puck cleared down the ice for the River Dragons. Power play looking much like it did yesterday for the Rock Lobsters thus far. Popoff stops Hunt in his tracks. Michael Greco has the puck behind Bostet's net, and these This unit will change for the Rock Lobsters. Shinkarik waiting for some help. Has the usual customers in front of him now. Shinkarik finds Kason Gallant. Gallant in behind. Backhands it towards Johnson. Behind him is Milan. Johnson getting hassled in behind by Slahetka. Kason Gallant unable to play that puck cleanly. Rock Lobsters reload with 34 seconds left on the power play. Johnson at a tight angle. Fakes the wraparound. Passes to Milan. Shinkarik loading up the slapper. It was all a ruse, but he ends up unable to get any power on that wristed pass towards Kason Gallant. Rock Lobsters running out of time here to make an impact on the power play. And it looks like it's not going to happen for the home team. Milan with 5 seconds left on the man advantage finds Virgili. The save gets deflected past the net. Another fantastic highlight reel save for Petizian. Man advantage is over. Rock Lobsters unable to make the River Dragons pay on the man advantage. Clock stops at the 10-12 mark. Draw here is going to happen right in front of the Athens bench. Galvin against Alden. Alden wins it very, very cleanly. Murray with a dump into the corner. Alden gets there, backhands it towards Petizian, who can't get it in the glove. Great use of Alden to shepherd that puck. Garcia's been looking for that long-distance shot once again, reminiscent of his goal, his first ever pro goal and the first ever goal here at Akins Ford Arena. Reller gets bullied off the puck by Connor Lind, and that one's going to go down as an icing. Haven't been a lot of icings in this game thus far. So the face-off will head in the opposite direction. And we've got a timeout here, so we go to another commercial break here at Akins Ford Arena, still tied up at 0 for the Athens Rock Lobsters against the 0 for the Columbus River Dragons.
Since we opened in 1968, we've taken pride in our professional staff. Unparalleled customer service is our legacy. Experience the best, skilled hands and friendly faces. At Stanfield Air Systems, satisfaction is not just a guarantee, it's our tradition. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
It's a historic season for all the hockey fans in Athens, and how can you celebrate without beer? There's only one place you can deck yourself out and represent Athens' first ever pro hockey team, the Rock Lobsters. Head to shop.rocklobstershockey.com to get your hats, shirts, and even jerseys now.
Meet our professional team, where the best customer service is our promise. With over 5 decades of expertise, trust Stanfield to keep you comfortable. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
Fans getting down here with the luau cam, enjoying their time tonight in this beautiful new arena. Has already had a few events now, according to the arena schedule website. One of the more notable ones is the B-52s concert. They made a memorable appearance here at the arena with the commemorative puck drop, the first ever Rock Lobster home game, and then followed up the next night with a concert of their own. Garrett Milan through 5. River Dragons opens up the shot for Shinkarik, who fires it once again just wide. Here's Shinkarik once again. Shinkarik with a quick pass to Milan. Milan in the neutral zone. Picking out the right pass to Robertson. Robertson with the return. There's Milan with that silky move once again, but can't find the shot. Ooh, Milan looking like he's running through a drill right now. A great pass from behind the net from Malik Johnson. Shot came from Glukarioff. Wraparound is in! Garrett Milan once again has fired the Rock Lobsters into the lead. And now I get to throw our stuffed fox onto the ice. And I actually just nailed a fan in the back. Garrett Milan follows up a sequence in where he had multiple fantastic moves with the puck, is able to find the back of the net. He's set up multiple times by Malik Johnson. What a goal for the Rock Lobsters, who have taken the lead here on the home ice. And now you can see all of the stuffed animals that have made their way on the ice tonight, being the teddy bear toss. All of these stuffed animals going to a great cause, going to hospitals around the area, and what a beautiful time to do it so close to the holidays. More details on that goal. Garrett Milan with his 12th of the year just makes a great read. That puck was bouncing all around the cage of Petizian. Petizian having to make multiple lateral movements to try and make the stop. And Garrett Milan sees the opening and fires it in with a wraparound. Garrett Milan getting interviewed right now. We're going to be here for a second as these stuffed animals are cleaned up off the ice and heading to a much happier home. We'll be back right after this commercial break. UGA football player Amarius Mims suffered a serious injury. The quality care from the Piedmont team changed his life.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
Classic City Flats is a brand new apartment community in Athens, Georgia that redefines luxury living, offering a sleek and contemporary living experience. Our impeccably designed apartment homes boast sophisticated interiors, premium amenities, and exquisite finishes, providing residents with an unparalleled downtown living experience. Classic City Flats is excited to deliver luxury apartments that set the new standard of sophisticated living in Athens, Georgia. Classic City Flats, redefining your horizon of living. Farmburger is defined by its mission, its farms, its team, and its family. In 2008, our co-founders gathered around a single idea: redefine the burger by bringing together a community of ranchers, farmers, chefs, restaurateurs, and eaters. Our promise is to strive every day and with every burger to uphold these core values to each and every one of you. We do that by holding ourselves to a higher standard. Grass-fed and grass-finished, that means our cattle are never fed grain. Our belief feeds our mission, and our mission is to feed you. Still wrapping up here with all the toys being packed into this truck as provided by Akins Ford. Akins Ford, the largest Ford dealership in Georgia. That gives us a chance also to thank some of our sponsors. A reminder that this Athens Rock Lobster broadcast is brought to you by Piedmont Athens Regional. Real change lives here. Akins Ford is the largest Ford dealership in Georgia. If you're going to trust anyone, why not trust the biggest and the best? Stanfield Air Systems, we've spent the last 50 years fulfilling Athens' HVAC needs. First American Bank and Trust, we specialize in you. And Terrapin Beer Company, do the right thing always. That truck with its cab filled with stuffed animals for kids who will be ready to have a new toy under the Christmas tree this year. A special happy holidays from all of us here involved with the Rock Lobsters to all of you watching, whether it be on the Athens Rock Lobster YouTube page or now people listening on the airwaves WGAU and W254 CJ Athens, 98.7 FM and AM 1340 WGAU. For those of you who are just joining us, the Athens Rock Lobsters have taken the lead 1-0. That's what prompted the tossing of the toys to the ice. Garrett Milan with his 12th of the year, leading the team in goals. Malik Johnson with the assist was able to set up Milan multiple times there. Milan eventually got the finish. And how about this? The first ever FPHL point for Daniil Glukaryov, someone who's played his last 3 years in pro hockey in Russia, had a great game last night, and he gets rewarded with a point here. Puck drop once again here. Now the Rock Lobsters playing with a 1-0 lead. Gallant in his own zone, wheels it around. Greco. Ooh, with a great pass up the boards. Virgili fires a pass through a couple River Dragons. Gallant wasn't able to get there. Shot from distance as Troy Murray's effort is blocked. Really clever pass allows a clean entry into the zone for the River Dragons, looking to even things up. Puck loose out in front, but it never found the back of the net past Bostedt. Ronan helps that puck on its way, but didn't get on the end of it. Will come all the way around for Ryan Hunter, the man who won it for the River Dragons in overtime last night. That puck slapped out of midair by Popoff. And that one gets called for a hand pass. Rock Lobsters will change their D pair. Kolatarsi on here with Matt Garcia. I don't think we've seen those paired together this year. Brandon Reller has had some fire in his game too. Sends a pass through the slot. Didn't miss Alden by much. Brandon Reller was sat last game, was a healthy scratch. But look at him here once again. Reller with a wrist shot. Tries once again. Both shots saved by Petizian. Brandon Reller trying to make a name for himself here. Had 4 games with the Macon Mayhem earlier this season. Logged 2 assists. Just a 21-year-old from Hanover, Minnesota. This is his first year in pro hockey. And there you see Reller with the long blonde hair make his way back to the bench. He's easy to spot on the ice when he's out there. But here comes Garrett Milan once again. Daniil Glukaryov making a case for himself to stay on this money line. Has he been the missing piece for Steve Martinson? Steve Martinson put Carter Shinkarik there last game because he hasn't been able to find that right option to fit along with Malik Johnson and Garrett Milan. Here he is again. Can he prove himself to be that missing piece? An offside whistle is blown. I don't think that one might have been offside by much. 6:56 left in this first period. Rock Lobsters leading through the Garrett Milan wraparound goal. And Rock Lobsters leading with 9 shots on goal to the River Dragons 7. That went on a trajectory all the way to Shinkarik, whose pass gets cut out. Wickline into the Rock Lobster ice, but here comes Malik Johnson after Wickline is dispossessed. Wickline on the puck once again. Ends up finding Austin Doe. Austin Doe, a prolific goal scorer in this league. Sends a backhand which rattles off the back of Bostet's net. Riley Robertson trying to get there. Puck needs digging out in that far corner, but it's done so by the River Dragons. Really good wrister from the right dot. Kirk Underwood with the shot. Saved once again from Bostet, his 8th of the night. No icing, say the referees. Balkwill taking it out of his own zone. Backhands it. Bostet with the blocker. Bats that puck down. Gallant getting hassled down to a knee. Almost finds the pass to Virgili. Brendan Ronan lost his stick in the gear there of Nathan Balkwill. Balkwill wanted a call. He's not going to get one. The River Dragons would love a power play here, given how good their power play has been this year. Puck all the way around the River Dragon zone and out. Philip Virgili thought about touching it, didn't, and that'll be an icing call going against the Rock Lobsters. 5:16 left to go in this first period. I want to thank all of the Rock Lobster fans that are tuning in tonight here. A great view here in the press box at Akins Ford Arena. Make sure you stay tuned with us here. At the first intermission, we'll have a interview with head coach Steve Martinson. Those of you watching on our YouTube stream, there's also a video component that we added last night. Puck loose out in the left faceoff circle, to the right, rather, of Jack Bostet from his perspective. Garcia finds a great pass to his left, and Virgili. Waiting patiently is Gallant, who fires a wrister. Right place, right time for Gallant. All that was missing was the finish. Virgili, a great pass toward Ronan. His wrister gets blocked by 2 River Dragons. Virgili gets it free once again. Garcia at the blue line. Murray, his partner. Shot gets blocked by Somero, and that gives a chance for the River Dragons to relieve some pressure. Oh, what a great chance for Kaysen Gallant. You got to give Matt Petizian credit, too. Those were the kind of saves he made last night against the Rock Lobsters. Despite the short distance opportunities that the Rock Lobsters were able to create with passes, like they might be able to do here. Reller with a wrister misses the top shelf. Wickline. That shot had so much speed from Reller, it might be able to propel the River Dragons the other direction. Instead, Carter Shinkarik with a great defensive play getting into the back of Ryan Galvin. Puck comes loose for Jack Bostet, who puts the glove over it and freezes it. Brandon Reller has come to tonight's game with a different level. Would love to see if that pays off for him tonight with his first FPHL point. We go to another commercial break here in Akins Ford Arena. There's only one place you can deck yourself out and represent Athens' first ever pro hockey team, the Rock Lobsters. Head to shop.rocklobstershockey.com to get your hats, shirts, and even jerseys now.
Every business owner who's built a business wonders about their company's legacy. What's the path forward after they decide to take a step back? At the heart of every succession plan is a vision that safeguards hard-earned success. This isn't just paperwork. It's your roadmap, guiding a business during a change in ownership and detailing how ownership transitions and key financial decisions unfold. This instills a profound sense of pride, belonging, innovation, and commitment, ensuring a stable future for the company and a rewarding exit for you. Let's forge that path together.
Great news, Rock Lobster fans. We are auctioning off autographed Christmas ornaments and some beautiful autographed Christmas sweater-inspired Rock Lobster jerseys. Just head on over to fans.winwithdash.com. That's fans.winwithdash.com and search the Athens Rock Lobsters, or head on over to the Athens Rock Lobster Instagram page to learn how you can bid on autographed collectibles that you can't find anywhere else. The Rock Lobsters have had some good opportunities in this period to double their lead. namely the opportunity that we just recently saw from Kaysen Gallant, who found himself in the slot. His shot saved by Matt Petizian. 3 goalies vying to be the starter right now for the Columbus River Dragons, but Matt Petizian making a great case for himself. Puck sent deep in from center ice. Robertson. Virgili plays a one-time pass. Took some contact. Wickline behind the net plays a pass towards Doe. Here's Doe once again. Doe looking for an option, trying to shake Glukaryov off of him. Puck's not played correctly by a River Dragon, sends the Rock Lobsters the other way. Glukaryov at the near dot. Finds a pass. Malik Johnson spins around, finds a pass to Shinkarik, who thinks about the wrister right into the midsection of Petizian. Doe sends it long. Stopped by Bostedt for Shinkarik. Right in front of the penalty box, Malik Johnson able to get that back into his zone for Kolatarsi to settle. Around the rink for Portillo. Stopped at the River Dragon blue line by Kirk Underwood, the River Dragon captain. Shinkarik, one of the best skaters in the FPHL over the last few years. After Bostedt made the initial stop, the rebound fell for Ryan Hunter, who challenged Bostedt once again, but Bostedt is able to come out of that opportunity with the stop and keep this 1-0 scoreline. Jemayev going up against Alden. Good opportunity here for the River Dragons on the Rock Lobster side of the ice. Whistle blown, another hand pass here. And more pushing around. These two teams coming together once again. Referees almost pushing Jordan Popoff to the ice. He's not going to be allowed to pop off just yet. Portillo talking about it a little bit with Slehetka. Slehetka standing at 5'8". I don't think he wants that noise. Just like it was when the Rock Lobsters faced off against the Mississippi Seawolves last weekend, it feels like it's not a matter of if a fight happens here tonight, but more so when. A very physical face-off now as Jemayev using his feet to get that puck, and now the River Dragons will go to the power play. Justin Portillo is going to be penalized here. He's now trying to will himself into a potential fight here against Columbus. Home crowd not happy about Portillo getting sent to the box. And that puts us on the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. Strong, skilled, strategic defense. When that's what you need, you call Leslie Jones Law. Justin Portillo, that's not going to be the last time that he looks for a dance partner tonight. We'll see who'll be willing to oblige him at some point. Wondering what head coach Steve Martinson's thoughts are. Probably not wanting his team on the penalty kill late on in this period, especially with the River Dragons sporting the second best power play in the league. 14 of 60 going into today's game. Storjahan wins the faceoff. Lind over to his left, Slehetka. Shot gets blocked from close range. Garrett Milan getting physical with Slehetka. Milan tried to breeze past Slehetka. Slehetka just kind of held him there. Garrett Milan being a nuisance right now for the River Dragons. Now he's just keeping the puck away. Whistle gets blown. I think Shinkarik was in an offside position as Milan came into the zone. We already knew the level that Garrett Milan could display with his puck handling coming into this game, and it looks like this is a self-inflicted wound here against the River Dragons as they now even things up with a penalty of their own going against Storjahan. So with 1:40 left, the penalties will offset. I believe it's a hold going up against Storjahan. I think when there's more ice available to the Rock Lobsters, it always benefits the Athens team. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Instead, Ryan Hunter fires a wrister that's quickly off the gear of Bostet. 2 minutes for hooking is the call. Did I say holding? This isn't football. Ooh, great pass to Hunter in the right dot. Fires a wrister, and that one's all the way in. That one sneaks past Jack Bostet, who tried to hug the post. And the River Dragons find a way to equalize the scoreline on the 4-on-4. It's just amazing what Ryan Hunter has done this year. Scored the OT winner last night. Played 6 games earlier this season with the Pensacola Ice Flyers. Has now 13 points in 10 games this season. What a terrific rate of scoring for the 26-year-old out of Onalaska, Wisconsin. Greco around his own net. Goes back where he came from. Momentum now in the River Dragons' favor as they've equaled things up at 1-1 late on in the first. Coming to the close of this first period, make sure you stay tuned with us here during the intermission. An exclusive interview with me and head coach Steve Martinson. Wrister blocked by Greco off the blade of the stick of Alexander Jemaev. Ooh, Greco has to be careful here. We're going to count that as a freeze. Making life difficult for Greco as Austin Doe, as a 31-year-old, was able to dispossess the defenseman. Details have come out for that River Dragons goal. Ryan Hunter from Moore and Balkwill. River Dragons looking to have the last laugh in this period. Lind was waiting in the slot. And Garrett Milan, that puck just bouncing away from him, but Garrett Milan able to bounce with it. Johnson takes it past the defenseman and then slides into the goaltender. Bersani with a push from behind on Johnson. Oh, Matt Garcia drops the gloves. Oh, Matt Garcia with a great punch, taking on Hugh Anderson. Matt Garcia, a couple of ones, a couple of twos. Garcia with a good grasp of the jersey. He's thrown a couple good punches. He's wrestled down to the ice. Anderson could try and take the easy way out if he wants to, but he took a couple of fantastic punches from Garcia straight to the face. And look, we've got another one now. Justin Portillo now out of the box. And that looked like the knockout blow. Connor Lind brave enough to go up against Portillo. Didn't go as planned. I tell you what, Matt Garcia, as we see Justin Portillo and Matt Garcia getting a heck of a welcome here at Akins Ford Arena. If you have a loose spot on your bingo card, no matter what game it is, don't ever count out Matt Garcia. He's not the first person we thought of when we thought who was going to score the first ever goal here at Akins Ford Arena. He's definitely not someone that we were thinking could potentially drop the gloves, but he does tremendously in a fight against Hugh Anderson. Matt Garcia is such a great guy. We learned that firsthand in my conversations with him as we see the replay here of the fight with Justin Portillo. Portillo and going up against Connor Lind. It's kind of like a fight remix here, like a fight mixtape. Matt Garcia, tremendous effort for him going up against Hugh Anderson. Matt Garcia keeps on surprising, and he really surprised me with just how eloquent and how nice of a guy he was in my conversation with him. For those of you listening on the radio and watching from home, you'll be able to see my interview with Garcia during the second intermission. Penalties still getting ironed out here. We go to a commercial break.
Since 1968, we've been your trusted source for home comfort. From then to now, we've evolved, but our commitment to your comfort remains unchanged. Experience the expertise that only decades of dedicated service can provide. Trust Stanfield. We've been keeping homes comfortable for over 50 years. Your comfort, our legacy. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
Classic City Flats is a brand new apartment community in Athens, Georgia that redefines luxury living, offering a sleek and contemporary living experience. Our impeccably designed apartment homes boast sophisticated interiors, premium amenities, and exquisite finishes, providing residents with an unparalleled downtown living experience. Classic City Flats is excited to deliver luxury apartments that set the new standard of sophisticated living in Athens, Georgia. Classic City Flats, redefining your horizon of living. Farm Burger is defined by its mission, its farms, its team, and its family. In 2008, our co-founders gathered around a single idea: redefine the burger by bringing together a community of ranchers, farmers, chefs, restaurateurs, and eaters. Our promise is to strive every day and with every burger to uphold these core values to each and every one of you. We do that by holding ourselves to a higher standard. Grass-fed and grass-finished, that means our cattle are never fed grain. Our belief feeds our mission, and our mission is to feed you.
Every business owner who's built a business wonders about their company's legacy. What's the path forward after they decide to take a step back? At the heart of every succession plan is a vision that safeguards hard-earned success. This isn't just paperwork. It's your roadmap, guiding a business during a change in ownership and detailing how ownership transitions and key financial decisions unfold. This instills a profound sense of pride, belonging, innovation, and commitment, ensuring a stable future for the company and a rewarding exit for you. Let's forge that path together.
Still here trying to figure out the penalties here at Akins Ford Arena. As you know, we just saw a couple of fights. One between Matt Garcia and Hugh Anderson, another between Justin Portillo and Connor Lind. Looks like the two captains are heading back to the bench to be told, rather to tell their head coach what exactly are going to be the calls here. Steve Martinson with a back and forth with the referee, so I wonder if he's going to be the unhappier of the two parties here. Just 6.4 seconds left in this first period. Reminder to stay tuned with us. We've got an exclusive interview with Athens Rock Lobster head coach Steve Martinson, waiting to resume play here. Looks like the referees are transferring all of the messages of their decisions. before the break, we were talking about Matt Garcia, how surprising he's been as of late. Scored his first pro goal in the last home game against the Mississippi Seawolves. First ever goal here at Akins Ford Arena. Trying to look at the numbers here. Two teams were at 4-on-4 when the fights occurred. It looks like it's going to stay that way. Milan due to get in the face-off circle against Ryan Galvin. Still taking a while here to get to the face-off. Referee blows the whistle. That usually signifies he's either ready to get it going or ready to stop it. Puck gets dropped last seconds in this period. And that'll do it. Bostet makes a save late on. Uh-oh. Are we going to go again? Milan now getting in the face of Galvin. The Rock Lobsters are ready to dance tonight. Galvin and Milan mixing it up right after the whistle. Both teams staring off at one another at this near corner on the side that's further from us. Michael Greco is still kind of linked up there with Nathan Balkwell, as you see. But just like the end of the second period last night in Columbus, the referees find a way to separate these two teams. But this one's not over yet. Rock Lobsters with a 1-1 scoreline against the River Dragons going into the second period. The Rock Lobsters wanted to make sure they ended that period with the momentum their way. They tried to do that with those fights from Matt Garcia and Justin Portillo. Garrett Milan was the one that got things started for Athens, opening up the scoring on a fantastic wraparound goal, which was assisted by Malik Johnson and Daniil Glukaryov for his first ever points in the FPHL. But Ryan Hunter reared his head once again for the Rock Lobsters, scoring for the River Dragons to make it 1-1, was just able to find a small area that wasn't hugged by Jack Bostet as he was closest to the post. Ryan Hunter with his 7th of the year, and he has done that with just 10 games on the season. Well, as was promised to you, we had a chance to talk with head coach Steve Martinson just a couple days ago. We hope that you guys like the new video element that has been added to our interviews. But all of you that are watching on the airwaves tonight, and we'll pause briefly for our identification. WGAU and W254CJ Athens, 98.7 FM and AM 1340 WGAU. Here's that interview with head coach Steve Martinson. Welcome back to another episode of Coach's Corner here on the Athens Rock Lobster Network. Matt Rad joined once again by Steve Martinson. Coach Marty, I think everyone associated with the team has just been replaying the events of last Friday over and over again in their head. I know it was electric from where I was sitting up in the press box, and you had a great view from right behind the bench. What did you make of the team's first ever home game?
Well, there were some things I liked about it, some things I didn't like, and you hate to make excuses, but we weren't real sharp. But I thought we played a physical game. I thought the fans responded to that. But you could kind of tell that we haven't played a lot over the last, we only had one game in a month going into that game, which is, that's really unheard of. Usually, usually in training camp, if you don't play a game, you're playing by your third weekend. So I thought we were rusty and didn't make some plays, but I love the crowd. And I know Saturday night we're going to be a lot sharper.
The building exploded when Matt Garcia scored the first goal in Akins Ford Arena history. We haven't really had a lot of opportunity to talk about Matt this season, and I actually had a chance to talk with him yesterday. He's a young guy who's in his first season of pro hockey. He's held down that third pair as he's had partners come in and out. And he's also just a great kid. talking to him. What are your thoughts on Matt and what his strengths have been this season?
Well, I think his number one strength is he can skate. He's a good skater, and he can jump up in the play. And that line hasn't been scoring much of late. I'm looking for them to get back on track, but he's a guy that can jump up in the play. He is a strong guy too, but and he can maneuver with the puck, and he moves his feet well, and that's one of the things that I like in defensemen that can maneuver and pull people out of position.
It was an incredibly exciting game last week. You kind of already touched on this a little bit, but I was curious, even in the midst of the game while it was happening, if that's something you wanted or didn't want was an exciting game. I mean, at the end of the day, the game was a great show for the fans, but also it was a little close for comfort against a team that has struggled themselves this season.
Yeah, and anybody can be dangerous, and you can't take anybody lightly. And one of the things you're trying to do is be in control of your game and how you play. So, like I said, when you don't play a lot, you come out. It's not surprising to come out rusty. So I'm I was a little bit frustrated. Obviously being in a tie in the third period, but like I said, I thought the positives. I thought we worked hard. I thought we were physical and we got solid goaltending. So right now it's just build on that.
Things really boiled over in that second period when Garrett Millen was hit up high, and then it's pretty much almost a brawl that occurred between the two teams. Two players from each team are kicked out, multiple penalties. I know you may not have had the best view and it all escalated very quickly, but how do you remember how the events occurred there?
Well, the guy, Milan, came in, and I don't know if he, poked in at the goalie and came in, looking for a rebound, and the guy hit him from behind, face first into the boards. And that's an automatic, should have been a match penalty, and that's what it was called. But, he hit him from behind. It was a really dirty play, and you're trying to injure our top player. And he's a first-year guy. He doesn't know me very well, obviously, doesn't know me at all. He's going to get to know me a lot better, but maybe not me personally, but the style that, when I say I believe in 2 eyes for an eye, I believe in that for a reason. And, the other cliche is fight fire with fire. So, our guys saw that, and we weren't going to just take the 5-minute power play. He was going to pay we were going to send him a message that if you do that, there's going to be a price to pay. So that's what it was. He was a dirty hit, and it's going to be a long season for that kid.
When something like that happens, how difficult does it become for you to balance the lines? I mean, we're seeing different iterations of different lines.
Yeah, on top of it, Gallant, he was suffering by the third period. He couldn't play. He was suffering from, I guess he was dehydrated and his legs were cramping. So he tried to go a couple of times, but he didn't play in the third. So we were really, we were down to 13 guys. So 13 is tough. Thank God it was only one game, but 13 is tough because if you go with 4 defensemen and move a guy up, you're going the defense every other game. And so it was a lot of line juggling. And the guys, you can see some guys can double shift and some guys can't.
How does that work from your standpoint? Are you just calling who you want exactly on the ice every time?
Oh, yeah, you have to. And then you have to remind the wingers, what I try to do this as a habit. Guys get used to playing, they just come off change, and I always tell them, you got to yell your position because they don't know me that well still. It's only been, 10 games, but 12 games. I juggle lines. And if the line isn't going, I'm not afraid to make changes, in stride. So, somebody might be a center one shift, and then 5 minutes later, he might be playing wing. And so you got to make sure the guys know. And I'm on the bench saying, okay, this guy's right wing, but that's one of the things that I try to instill in the players to call out their position when they change, so we don't end up with too many men on the ice and 2 guys jumping for the same guy.
We saw a video released on Rock Lobsters social media of Justin Portillo firing the team up in the locker room. In my talks with Carter Shinkarik and Garrett Millen, they've described themselves as more like lead by example kind of guys. We've seen firsthand how much Ports has been leaned on to be the energy guy on the ice. How much have you leaned on him to be that off the ice as well?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty vocal off the ice, but I'm not really involved with that. But he is pretty vocal and sometimes maybe a little too vocal at times. He was talking a little bit in warmups, and we got to kind of. I think he was pretty excited to be at home for the first time, but yeah, I mean, he's always talking. He's the talker. He's always talking on the ice, and that's a good thing. I'd rather have a guy with, I'm not saying he has too much passion, but I would rather have a guy with too much passion than not enough. So he's got a lot of passion, and he enjoys he enjoys talking out there. So he's fun
Any
to have around.
addition? Oh, sorry, Coach. Any additions to the injury list after last game? I know Movali and Orca are on the IR, but any new additions? You talked about Kaysen a little bit. Is he going to be good to go?
Yeah. It was just dehydration, I think, and everybody's good to go. We're gonna have a couple because we've got some new players, so we got a couple of healthy scratches. Looks like for tomorrow.
That segues us beautifully into my next question. 3 new additions made to the team in this past week. First, let's talk about Kyle Russell. What can you tell us about Kyle?
Well, Kyle's another kid from Texas that played in the program that my kids played in, and I know it's a really good program, and they have really good teams, and he was the top scoring defenseman there. And I watched this video. He's a really good skater, and he's kind of like a Carter type player that can jump in the play, and he can play forward if we need him to play forward. But he can jump in the play, and he's fast enough to jump in and get back. Some guys can jump in the play, but they don't get back fast enough, so it doesn't work out very well if we don't score. But he's he's got. I think he's going to provide some offense coming from the blue line and jumping up.
Someone that our fans were really excited about coming in was Michael Greco. What does he bring to the table?
Well, Greco is a funny guy. A couple of years ago, he had 30 points in 42 games in Columbus, and then he went up to the SP and really didn't get in that role. And you've heard me say it. If you've done it before, you can do it again, given the same circumstances. So I know a lot of teams were interested in getting him. He got traded, and we intercepted him in the trade to Macon in the SP and just talked to him about, what it's like to play here. We had several players talk to him and the style that we play. And, I watched this highlight tape. If when you're hearing this, you go on YouTube and look at his highlight tape, and you can see he makes some great passes, but he also makes some big hits. And so he's a guy I think that contribute all over the ice. But based on what I've seen, I would expect him to be our heaviest hitter on the blue line.
Now, are those 2 guys kind of jousting to be on the third pair for the next game? Or what is that going to look like?
No. Carter's going to center this weekend, so we're going to have to set out 2 forwards. But Carter's going to play with Milan, and Milan's really a winger. And so we've had a couple of guys. Phil Virgili's really a winger too, but so we've had a couple of guys play center that really haven't played center their whole career. So some of them are learning as we go. But Carter's a converted center. He played center his whole life and has only played defense for a couple of years. And the style that he plays, fits into the way we like to play, that he's jumping up in the play. But I just haven't liked that line chemistry for a little bit and been trying different people in there. Nothing against the other players. It's just not the fit that I was looking for. And so I moved Carter up for at least the weekend. We'll see.
Who are you thinking about pairing with Robo on that top pair?
Joey's going with Robo, and then Greco and Murray are going together, and Russell and Garcia.
And then right before we started this call, you let us know that the team picked up Brendan Ronan. What can you tell us about Brendan?
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. He's kind of bounced around on different SP teams, and he's got good size. He's 6'2", but he moves well. He skates well. He led his team in scoring for 3 years in a row in college, Division III college. So I watched him real close in practice, and he's got some skill and some ability. And sometimes, you go in, and in that league, you don't have to have a rookie. They don't have a rookie rule. So, our league, you have to have 6 rookies in the lineup every night. So sometimes our league is more conducive to getting the opportunity. But he should be a real good player for us and step in and start making plays right away. And that's my expectation of him.
Coach Marty, the Baton Rouge Zydeco up at the top of the Continental Division with 17 more points than the Rock Lobsters. But something to remember for Rock Lobster fans, Baton Rouge has played 10 more games than Athens at this point in the season. How do you feel about that? Is there a sense of comfort in knowing what you have to do in those games that have to be made up? Or is it more concerning for you that there's so many games to play at this point in the season and you're going to maybe be stuck with, a long streak of games that's very dense?
Well, so, I'm used to having 78 games. So, the fact that it stinks that it's our own fault. The reason we haven't played as many games is we haven't had a home ice. And then we had to have, games, canceled. And one of the reasons that, we've had we had a weekend off besides the games is because we don't have a home rink. So it's the bed that we made. The nice thing is we got, 10 road games out of the way, or not 10, 11 road games out of the way. And so we've got a really nice schedule going forward. And they've, so 10 wins, if you win 10, that's a 30-point swing. So you can make up that ground, as we go, but it will take a while because you got to play the games.
Attention's turned to this weekend in a away and a home series against our in-state rivals, the Columbus River Dragons. It was probably the most exciting game of the season last time these two teams met. It took the shootout to find a winner. Are you expecting another close game between these two teams?
Well, I like our team a lot better now than it was the game that we played them. So I'm expecting a better all-around effort. I think we're a faster team, and our defense is definitely, deeper defensively than we were, than we were the last month. So, I told the guys today I expect to win every game the rest of the year. And some people go, well, what is he not really serious? And I'm like, yeah, I'm really serious. I expect to win every game. So I want to go into tomorrow night's game. I think if we play our A game, we should be tough to beat. And if we lose, it should be like the Danville game where we had, 60 shots on goal and we just couldn't find the back of the net.
Last question, Coach. December 21st, our next home game, Saturday night. It's going to be the teddy bear toss. A lot of people very excited about it. All of those stuffed animals going to a very good cause. What's your rallying cry to get Rock Lobster fans out to the ice?
Well, I think the fans that came the last game were really, they were entertained. They had a good time. You see the way they cheer for the hits, and that's the way it is in the South. You get a lot of football fans coming to the games, and they like the big hits. And we certainly have the most physical team in the league. So I think they'll enjoy, and they'll be able to see some offensive plays and some fun plays with the puck. But come on down, and I assure you, you'll be. It's like that show Gladiator. You'll be entertained.
Thank you so much, Coach. Rock Lobsters versus the River Dragons Saturday night in Akins Ford Arena. Be there. Puck drop at 7:05 and bring a teddy bear. Always great to hear from head coach Steve Martinson. Taking a look around at all the fans here at Akins Ford Arena. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight, whether it be on WGAU 98.7 FM and AM 1340 WGAU, or whether it be on the Athens Rock Lobster YouTube page. Thank you for all of you that are tuning in tonight. If you haven't already, make sure you like the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. Our next goal is to try and get to 1,000 subscribers. About 2 minutes and 40 seconds before the second period will begin here, let's take a look at how we got to this 1-1 score line. It all started with Garrett Milan, who put on a puck handling clinic before he was eventually able to find the back of the net on a wraparound past Matt Petizian. However, about 7 minutes later, Ryan Hunter was able to sneak one past Jack Bostedt. Bostedt trying to hug that post, but just didn't get to that puck quickly enough. And then, of course, we've seen a couple fights as with the River Dragons scoring late on. The Rock Lobsters wanted to take the momentum back in their favor. They did so with a couple of brawls. First, dropping the gloves was someone that we didn't necessarily expect to do so, was Matt Garcia, and he handled himself very, very well, making sure that his adversary, Hugh Anderson, who was in his own very first professional fight, was not going to be leaving the ice without a couple bruises on his face. And then Joe rather Justin Portillo, would get in on the action, as he is prone to do. The River Dragons being treated to boos as they make their return to the ice. And now Jack Bostedt leading the line as the Rock Lobsters make their way back to the ice. It was a great job from the Rock Lobsters to get the lead. Getting the lead has been important for the team this season. But we start all square going into the second period. Not going to be starting at 5 apiece. We ended the period with a 4-on-4 for about 6 seconds before eventually the period ended after all the penalties were decided. Matt Garcia for 5 for fighting. Hugh Anderson for 5 for fighting. Justin Portillo and Connor Lind with fighting after original altercation have both been booted from the game. So Lind a D-man, Portillo a winger. Both of those will not see action for the rest of the night. Horn blows as the intermission officially ends. So both teams going to be down 2 players each. It's going to be interesting, though, for the River Dragons. They're going to be down 2 defensemen, at least for 5 minutes. Teams are here now at center ice, getting ready to get started. Looks like Virgili will line up against Ryan Galvin. We almost saw another fight at the end of the period between Galvin and Garrett Milan. Milan also someone that we haven't seen drop the gloves yet this season. There'll be a change to that. Here he is with the puck. Wickline almost wipes out, and Milan sheds some time off before sending it the length of the ice. Icing gets called. It was interesting there. I don't know if Milan wasn't aware that there's not a River Dragons power play right now. Teams indeed skating at 4 apiece. Chance for the River Dragons to do something offensive. Draw. Virgili taking the face off, loses out to Galvin. Loose pass at the blue line, and having to recollect is Storjahan. Storjahan sends it in. Bostedt gets a touch of the puck. To the blue line. Slehetka takes an awkward deflection. Shinkarik kicks it away from the net. And now the River Dragons are on a power play. And the puck's cleared out. Now a minute left on the Rock Lobster penalty. I believe it's an instigator for the Rock Lobsters. Not sure what else it could be. Nothing else on the penalty summary on federalhockey.com. Good interception there on the puck from Brendan Ronan, and then helps it towards the River Dragon net. The penalty kill has been very, very good for the Rock Lobsters this year at an 82.5 PK rate. Hunter. Kyle Moore all the way around the net into the faceoff circle from the high slot, sends a shot into the pad of Bostedt. River Dragons try to reload. Brendan Ronan has a clear path in on net. Sends a shot right into the glove of Petesian. Penalty is over for the Rock Lobsters. Both teams back at even strength. Puck in low in the River Dragon zone. Troy Murray unable to play the puck at his first attempt. Puck right below us here in this near corner. Kirk Underwood. Bostet doesn't freeze it. Quickly passes it to Milan. Shinkarik waiting, looking out at the ice in front of him. Glukaryov, who registered his first point in the United States on the Garrett Milan goal. He has been mighty impressive over this last 2 games, given the fact that he did not play here against the Seawolves. Oh, interesting there. That puck got flipped into the River Dragons bench on the backhand from Samaro. Justin McDonald getting mentioned in the chat. The 34-year-old center from Newmarket, Ontario, has been on the injured list for quite some time. A former 60-goal scorer in this league. No doubt the River Dragons are suffering a little bit with his absence, but of course he's also on the bench, also serving as an assistant coach. Hunter Alden, aggressive on the forecheck as always. Kolatarski from long distance. Pad save from Petizian. Great pass from Alden. Found Hunt in the slot. But once again, an opportunity where the Rock Lobsters get in a good position but can't trouble Petizian. Austin Doe behind the net. A great pass into the slot. And taking a shot up high for it was Ryan Galvin. Great block of the shot from Brandon Reller that came from the blue line from Nolan Slehetka. Puck trinkles in behind the net. Kolatarsi steps on the gas. Puck doesn't fall favorably for anybody other than the River Dragons' Ryan Hunter. Shot comes in deep. I think that one took a quick deflection, and still Bosted is able to adjust and make the glove save. I know that save probably didn't feel like much from your view on the stream, but to be able to adjust that quickly on a puck that takes contact in close on your net, that's a mighty impressive save there from the Rock Lobster number 30. But it's been a good start to this period for the River Dragons, who now lead the shot category 14-13. Right on cue, here come the Rock Lobsters. Brendan Ronan's pass gets cut out, falls to Virgili, who can't get the shot off. Shinkarik sends it in deep, all the way around to Gallant. Gallant, second bite of the cherry. Sends it in further. Petizian plays the puck off the glass. Greco with a step off the blue line. His shot gets blocked by Hunter. Sends the River Dragons the other way. Greco. Ooh, a little bit of confusion there between him and Ronan. Turns the puck over. Doherty forces another save, this time with the blocker of Bostet. Shinkarik using the pace of his skating ability to his favor. Gallant wipes out. And another save for Boston, this time on Doherty. Oh my goodness, what a quick redirection right in the crease. Doherty so close to taking the 2-1 lead here for the River Dragons. That one was just pure reaction out of Bostet. We go to our first commercial break of the period. Right after, Scott Doherty comes very, very close to taking a Columbus River Dragon lead. We'll be back after this break. UGA football player Amarius Mims suffered a serious injury. The quality care from the Piedmont team changed his life.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
Keith Gettler, someone who served our country in the Army, getting recognized here in the crowd tonight. Thank you, Keith, for your service. Apologies for the score bug that previously read 1-0. It is indeed a 1-1 game. It should now read on your screen with a fixed scoreline. Ryan Galvin and Garrett Milan facing off once again. They faced off in a much more physical way late on in the second period. Robertson getting hassled. Backhands a pass towards Shinkarik. Milan with speed. Has Glukaryov to his right. Milan sees the Russian. That one took an awkward bounce off a defenseman. Glukaryov gets to that loose puck first. Malik Johnson trying to turn with it. Sends one towards the linesman, and the River Dragons are going to be able to get out scot-free. Riley Robertson plays it with a hand for himself. Glukaryov takes it into the zone. Almost finds Milan. Milan takes a trip to the ice there. Not sure who initiated the contact. Not sure if that was a whiff or if that one was kind of a fake from Ryan Galvin. Eventually he unleashes the shot, and it's an easy save for Bostet to make. 13:51 left in the second period. It's been a good start to the second for the River Dragons. The Rock Lobsters lacked fluidity in the third period last night. They haven't fully found it yet. The money line has looked better, though, tonight with the addition of the Russian Daniil Glukaryov. Alden gets it pinballed into the blade of his stick. Murray helped on the backhand of Brandon Reller, who tries to get it out of the neutral zone. Sent back in behind Bostet, who makes a play on the puck. Reller gets to that loose biscuit off the glass. Murray with the play of the skate. Loose pass from Murray. Kyle Moore into the zone. Hunter with a wicked wrister misses to the right. Another deflection in close, this time from Jemayev. He wants a little piece of Matt Garcia, but Bostet has made some really, really good reads on pucks that are quickly deflected right out in front of him. Both teams making changes. A line of Storjahan, Bersani, and Doherty for the River Dragons going up against Virgili, Kason Gallant, and Brendan Aronin. Oh, and that one takes a piece of Bersani on Underwood's shot. Gallant finds the puck after losing out on it originally. Storjahan helps it down with his glove. Greco. Ooh, a little bit of collision there between two River Dragons. Greco banks one off his own bench. Sent back that way from the River Dragons. I think that one took a piece of the linesman. A little bit of loose passing all around here. River Dragons trying to make the most of it. Storjahan trying to get on his favored left hand. Gets dispossessed. Virgili sends it down all the way for an icing. Teddy Bear Toss Night here at Akins Ford Arena. We saw that as all the Teddy Bears made their way to the ice on the goal from Garrett Milan. Next week on December 28th, we've got Hockey and Hops brought to you by Terrapin Beer. Terrapin, do the right thing always. Virgili wins the draw this time. Greco paired here with Colatarsi. Greco dispossessed by Wickline. Sent up the boards at the blue line. Slaheka to the right. That one was dangerous for Bostet. Wickline tries the backhand wraparound. Doesn't get it. Here's Kesa Gallant over center ice. Gallant over the blue line. Shrugs off one defenseman. Sends it behind the net. And Columbus are able to calm things down a bit. Ooh, good touch of the puck at the blue line. Doe from Wickline. Doe with a wicked backhanded shot. We don't know who the 3 stars of this game are yet, but the first star of this second period has been Jack Bostet. And you can know that by taking a look at the shots for this period. Now the River Dragons with a 20-13 shot advantage. They've got the advantage 8-1 in this period. Kind of showing just that lack of fluidity from the Rock Lobster offense right now. Hunter. Jemayev behind the net. Garcia with a body check. Gets that puck free from Murray. Great defending there from the linesman. But a body check from Hunter Alden gets the puck back for the Rock Lobsters. They need to be challenging Petizian more here. Not going to happen on that shot, which is blocked by Hugh Anderson. Initiated by Chris Hunt. Brandon Reller, who had a great start to this game in the first period. All that's missing from him is his first Rock Lobster point. Good forecheck from Malik Johnson. River Dragons still able to come out of the zone with it. Heavy body check from Glukaryov on Kyle Moore. That one just evading Glukaryov, and instead of a clean zone entry, it will result in an icing. River Dragons have the A on the report card in this second period, but they don't have anything to show for it yet. Head coach Steve Martinson and the Rock Lobsters will hope to keep it that way. Garrett Milan going up against his fellow number 10 Cody Wickline on the faceoff. Wickline goes into Austin Doe. What could have been a great chance to score ends up on the Rock Lobsters' blade of the stick. Malik Johnson towards Milan. Milan plays a backhand. That one popped up high on Jordan Popoff. Still just one shot in the second period for the Rock Lobsters. Ooh, can Carter Shinkarik make a change to that? Mix of great skating with great stick handling. His wristed shot takes a deflection into the glass. Behind Petizian, and it's put back in. Perhaps paying for doing so is Malik Johnson. Thankfully, he's back up to his feet. Malik Johnson back on the score sheet for the first time in a while. And what a great time to do so, to put the Rock Lobsters up 2-1 against their in-state foes. It was a little bit of a scary moment there. Initial shot came from Carter Shinkarik. Puck loose out in the crease and stuffed back in by Malik Johnson. I think Carter Shinkarik is not happy with that hit up high on Johnson. Looks like he's talking about wanting a call there. Doesn't look like the team's going to get it. Rock Lobsters take the lead for the second time tonight, Chris Hunt already jousting on the face-off with Scott Doherty. River Dragons come out of the draw with the puck. Malik Johnson with his third goal of the season. Carter Shinkarik with the second assist on the goal, but how about Daniil Glukaryov, who has a 2-point night? Doherty. And probably the craziest thing about it is that's the second shot on net for the Rock Lobsters in this period. So shots aren't everything. Once again, the goal for Malik Johnson, his third of the year, with helpers from Glukaryov and Shinkarik. Shinkarik with his 15th assist of the year. Forecheck's getting better from the Rock Lobsters. It's left them with a little bit more of a chance to create shot opportunities. Here comes Virgili. Virgili's wrister gets blocked by the shin. Kason Gallant goes wrister. That one right over the top of the crossbar. We go to a timeout here right after the Rock Lobsters have taken the lead through Malik Johnson. We'll be back right after this. A commercial break here. Rock Lobsters lead 2-1 with 8:07 left in the second.
Since 1968, we've been your trusted source for home comfort. From then to now, we've evolved, but our commitment to your comfort remains unchanged. Experience the expertise that only decades of dedicated service can provide. Trust Stanfield. We've been keeping homes comfortable for over 50 years. Your comfort, our legacy. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
Classic City Flats is a brand new apartment community in Athens, Georgia that redefines luxury living, offering a sleek and contemporary living experience. Our impeccably designed apartment homes boast sophisticated interiors, premium amenities, and exquisite finishes, providing residents with an unparalleled downtown living experience. Classic City Flats is excited to deliver luxury apartments that set the new standard of sophisticated living in Athens, Georgia. Classic City Flats, redefining your horizon of living. Right after the Rock Lobsters took the 2-1 lead, thanks to Malik Johnson, they had a golden opportunity to double that advantage through Kason Gallant. It's been a stale second period for the most part for Athens, but they're starting to light up here. Bundle of bodies on the face-off dot. River Dragons come out with it through Hunter. Intercepted his pass was Brendan Ronan. Ooh, that one whipped in to the Rock Lobster zone. And we've got an icing once again. Well, we see a reflection of this second period as we saw it in the first. Rock Lobsters taking a lead. River Dragons had something to say late on. We saw just how testy this game has gotten multiple times tonight. It hasn't resulted in more fights ever since we saw the fights involving Matt Garcia and Justin Portillo, the latter of whom has been ejected from the game. Colatarsi makes a quick play on that. Michael Greco backhands it to the other side of the ice for Brendan Ronan. His pass gets intercepted but falls to Colatarsi. Sent all the way around the rink. Touchdown by Austin Doe. Austin Doe, one of the most confusing names for me in the league. D-A-A-E, the way his last name is spelled, pronounced Doe. Was told by Tom Callahan, the Columbus broadcaster, that it's of Dutch origin. Glukaryov has a great stake to potentially be one of the 3 stars tonight. Shinkarik gathers a loose puck, quickly around his own net. Gets taken down. No call from the referees. Shinkarik has Milan. Milan with the breakaway. Puck on his stick. Unleashes a shot. He gets hassled. Illegally, say the officials. Now, is that going to be a penalty shot, or is that one just going to be a man in the box? Looks like it's going to be Jordan Popoff who goes in the box for the hook. It has been a disappointing couple of nights for the power play for the Rock Lobsters, but all it takes is a goal to change that narrative. That puts us on the Paloma Park power play. If the Rock Lobsters score on the Paloma Park power play, fans can unlock $3 tacos at Paloma Park for 24 hours through the Fan Saves app. A reminder that this Athens Rock Lobster broadcast is brought to you by Piedmont Athens Regional. Real change lives here. Akins Ford is the largest Ford dealership in Georgia. If you're going to trust anyone, why not trust the biggest and the best? Stanfield Air Systems, we've spent the last 50 years fulfilling Athens' HVAC needs. Oh, and here's the shot! Getting rejected on the shot was Garrett Milan. Matt Petizian made the save. Garrett Milan so quick in on net. Well, Matt Petizian stands tall. My apologies on that. Everything happening so quickly. That's on me, folks. I apologize. Malik Johnson finds a great pass towards Garrett Milan. Second bite of the cherry. His shot goes wide. Malik Johnson banks one off the boards. Riley Robertson with a quick pass poked away from him, though, by Kirk Underwood. Ooh, a quick shot that's saved by the pad of Bostedt. Justin Somero with a quick wrister from a tight angle. Lukaryov trying to fight for a chance to get a shot. All that's missing from his great night is a goal. Ooh, puck loose out in front. Saved at the blue line by Underwood. Ooh, wrister right into the back of Carter Shinkarik, who puts his body on the line on the blocked shot. So it did end up being a penalty shot for the Rock Lobsters. Johnson on the right side. Wow. Great athleticism from Johnson after he was brought down, was able to just kind of stand up despite being put on his back end. Bostedt wants the ice, is not going to get it, plays the puck with his own stick. All I've got to say is thank God Milan didn't score. Otherwise, I would have probably had a lot more angry fans at me. Kaysen Gallant. Great pass into the high slot. Troy Murray follows it up as he gets the rebound of the blocked shot. Matt Petizian makes a glove save. 4:34 left to go. And the Rock Lobsters have really lit up the second half of this second period. Still only a 1-goal advantage, though. We'll be back after this commercial break. There's only one place you can deck yourself out and represent Athens' first ever pro hockey team, the Rock Lobsters. Head to shop.rocklobstershockey.com to get your hats, shirts, and even jerseys now. Classic City Flats is a brand new apartment community in Athens, Georgia that redefines luxury living, offering a sleek and contemporary living experience. Our impeccably designed apartment homes boast sophisticated interiors, premium amenities, and exquisite finishes, providing residents with an unparalleled downtown living experience. Classic City Flats is excited to deliver luxury apartments that set the new standard of sophisticated living in Athens, Georgia. Classic City Flats, redefining your horizon of living. After a stale start to the second period, the Rock Lobsters have really controlled the narrative over the past 5 minutes or so. They were able to take the lead through Malik Johnson, who scored at the 10:36 mark, so the last 6 minutes or so. And then the Rock Lobsters had 2 great opportunities to double their lead. Kason Gallant in close, sent one over the crossbar of Petizian, and then Petizian made the save on the Garrett Milan penalty shot. It goes in deep. I don't think the camera people here have yet to know that the play is resumed. Jack Bostet gets his glove over the shot of Ryan Galvin. Uh-oh. Things starting to heat up on the cold ice once again. Looks like we're going to be able to avoid any further action for right now. Steve Martinson will make a change of his 5-man unit on the ice. Virgili, Ronan, and Kason Gallant is the way this second line looks tonight. Brendan Ronan given a good chance to impress here in his 4-game PTO. Good job by him to play the puck with his skate. Sends a pass through a couple bodies. Now in possession of the River Dragons. Bostet gets a slight touch on it. Gallant gets there first. Kolatarsi blocks it with his back. Ryan Galvin trying to get in between him and the puck. Virgili gets that puck loose. Brendan Ronan with a quick U-turn. Virgili protects the puck around Bostet's net. Gallant to his right. Gallant trying to play the 1-2 just a little bit loose. Wiping out in the net is Matt Petizian. Uh-oh, here we go. Michael Greco, we thought that this might be coming sooner rather than later. Michael Greco has not exactly ingratiated himself with this River Dragons team over the last 24 hours or so. Not sure what happened to Petizian there. Looked like there might have been some slight contact in the crease between the River Dragons goaltender and a member of the Rock Lobster team. One thing's for sure, it was almost a scary moment with how hard that Petizian hit the ice. It shook his helmet loose, hoping that he was able to make contact with the ice, his head rather, with the helmet still on his head. Looks like the referees are talking over any potential penalties here. They're pointing, I believe, just at where they want the face-off taken. Right now it looks like the officials are talking over with Matt Petizian with how exactly he felt everything occurred there. Doesn't look like any penalties are going to come out of it. Milan wins the draw. Shinkarik, Robertson at the line. Sends a long-distance shot straight into the midsection of Petizian. Uh-oh. The second period has been the period of almost fights. Once again, calmer heads prevail here. Oh, but look at this. Malik Johnson just takes a hard spear there. Can't get my eyes past Johnson to see who perpetrated that. I think it's Justin Somero. It was Justin Somero. Got another icing call here. It's been a start-stop stage of this second period. Face-off will go back to the offensive zone for the Rock Lobsters. Milan will go again in the face-off. Johnson to Shinkarik. Flips it off the glass. Falls for Glukaryov. Milan in the corner. Can't find Johnson. Shinkarik makes a step up for a hit. And then he made a play with a stick in the midsection of Somero, which the referees, I think, will penalize here. Shinkarik letting his thoughts be known to Somero. Perhaps all of this stemming from Somero trying to shake things up on the face-off a couple minutes ago. Riley Robertson has got a firm grip of the neck of the jersey of Storjahan. Storjahan just looking like he just wants to be involved. So it looks like we're potentially going to a 4-on-3 here. 2 Rock Lobsters have entered the penalty box, Shinkarik and Malik Johnson. Uh-oh. Shinkarik leaving the ice here. You really hope that's not for ejection purposes. Carter Shinkarik is not someone that you don't want to have for the rest of this game. Hopefully it's just a 5-minute penalty of some sort where Shinkarik just has to go to the locker room early. Let's see if we could check the penalty summary here at federalhockey.com. Nothing yet, just the Jordan Popoff slashing penalty that led to the penalty shot. Philip Virgili talking things over with the official, as is Columbus River Dragon captain Kirk Underwood. Things escalated quickly. Shinkarik took the body on Somero and then looked like he made a whack of the stick in the midsection of Somero. Still consulting with the referees, or maybe the 2 de facto captains. Kirk Underwood wears the C. Philip Virgili, an alternate captain, might be taking those duties with Carter Shinkarik now off the ice. Still trying to get confirmation on what Shinkarik's sentence is here. Things are getting dicey here in Akins Ford Arena. And a lot of the complexion or the rest of this game is going to come down to what the call for Shinkarik is going to be. Taking a look once again. Still nothing in the penalty summary on federalhockey.com. It does look like the Rock Lobsters will be shorthanded. So we go to the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. The Rock Lobsters are repeat offenders tonight. Be good, but if you can be good and you get caught in the penalty box, call Leslie Jones Law. 2:51 to go in this second period, and the River Dragons have a golden opportunity to even things up at 2 apiece. Second best power play rate in the league, possessed by the River Dragons. Five on 4 here for Columbus. A man advantage will belong to Columbus for most of what remains in this second period. It looks like we're finally ready to get back going again. River Dragons win the draw. Kirk Underwood with a quick pass to Austin Doe.
Columbus penalty, number 18.
Great passing start.
2 minutes for roughing. Rock Lobsters penalty, number 60.
Slapped pass intercepted by Ronan.
2 minutes for roughing. Number 14, Hunter Shinkarik.
Trying to listen out for the Shinkarik penalty.
For slashing. And 10 minutes for inciting
10 minutes for inciting an
an opponent.
opponent for Carter Shinkarik.
Rock Lobsters are now on the left wing going off the penalty kill.
Uh-oh. Taking a hit up high there was Kyle Moore. He tried to sell the high stick. Not going to be bought by the referees. 2 minutes to play. Shot from Austin Doe from distance. Jack Bostedt wasn't troubled by it. Here's Doe again. Jack Bostedt pops that one back into his own glove. Ryan Hunter really at the center of everything right now. So it looks like we're getting these penalties ironed out here. Malik Johnson in the box for 2 minutes for roughing. Only 56 seconds left in that minor penalty. Carter Shinkarik was called for 2 minutes for slashing and then 10 minutes for inciting an opponent. Also, Columbus's Nathan Balkwell was sent to the box for 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes to go now in this second period. Jack Bostedt has come up with multiple big-time saves, just as Matt Petizian has on the other side. It was really a tale of 2 goaltenders last night. Here's Cody Wickline with a step off of the left face-off dot. Able to keep the puck away from Virgili. That went off the glove and out of Bostedt. Petizian plays it to his left for Alex Storjahan. Storjahan enters cleanly. Slehetka getting troubled by Ronan. Keeps the puck. Puck bounces back for Storjahan on the far side. Slehetka drops it for Storjahan. Greco slaps that shot out of midair. Puck into the corner, less than a minute to play. Both teams now at even strength. Rock Lobsters will be more than happy to get out of this second period with a lead. Can they come out with more? Hunter Alden's backhanded shot gets blocked either by a teammate or a River Dragon. I'm interested to see what the shot tally is going to be here at the end of the period. Austin Doe at a tight angle. Shot gets saved by Bostedt. Looks like the Rock Lobsters are going to be going back to the penalty kill. Underwood trying to shave some time off the clock to be able to start the third period with a River Dragon power play. Things didn't go exactly to plan for the Rock Lobsters in that second period. Really, the River Dragons had the lion's share, the Dragon share, if you will, of the shots in that second period. 15-8, the shot tally in favor of the River Dragons in the second. But the only goal belongs to the Rock Lobsters. Malik Johnson stuffs a loose puck in. Daniil Glukaryov now has 2 assists in this game. That Malik Johnson goal came at the 10:36 mark in the second period. Someone who surprised with a goal last Friday was Matt Garcia. He scored the first ever goal in Akins Ford Arena history. He also surprised us tonight by dropping the gloves and more than taking care of himself and handling himself against Hugh Anderson earlier on in this game. Now we had a chance to talk with Matt Garcia a couple days ago. What a nice guy he is. Here's our interview with Matt Garcia, which is our intermission interview for the night. Welcome back to another intermission interview here on the Rock Lobster Network. Matt Rad here as always, and joined today by a first-time guest, Matthew Garcia. Matt, how you doing, brother?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Good to talk to you. I want to start at the very beginning of your journey, which starts in Homer Glen, Illinois, about 32 miles southwest of downtown Chicago. I doubt many people, especially here in Georgia, know much of Homer Glen. What can you tell us about home?
Yeah, I mean, Homer Glen is only like a half hour from Chicago, too. It's really close to everything, really close to the AAA team Chicago Fury. Arctic Ice Cream is where I spent a lot of my time. In that area, there's a lot of rinks, and the joke story is you can't go more than 15 minutes without driving and finding an ice rink. So it was really beneficial for me as a kid.
You actually worked at an ice rink, didn't you? You worked for 5 years at Canlan Sports. You were able to have some important positions in that organization, really just through kind of your own willingness, motivation, self-belief. Can you tell your story about your time there?
Yeah, I had a lot of positions there. I started as a youth hockey instructor. I loved it. I always loved, teaching kids how to skate, how to play hockey in general. My old coach for high school, Doug Bossy, brought me on. Great guy, great mentor, teaching that way. And then the position a couple years down the road fell in my lap to help with the youth hockey director position, especially with the 3-on-3 for this summer when I come home from school. It taught me a lot. Loved every second of it. Thanks again, to Brooks Clinton, everyone that helped me out in that rink was great.
You would end up traveling 2 hours south of home to go to Illinois State University. You just graduated in July. I know your time playing ACHA hockey as a Redbird meant a lot to you. What made the campus of ISU so welcoming to you?
Yeah, it's funny because I come down here I see the campus of UGA, and it is massive. It is about got to be double, maybe the size of Illinois State's campus. And I love that, kind of a smaller campus feel. It wasn't that small. It was still a school of 22,000 plus. But my time there, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was great. The teammates were great. I was able to live with my best friend 8 years. He was the captain. I was the assistant captain towards the end of our tenure there. The coaching was great. They were fun. I learned a lot there. It helped me grow as a player, and it got me to experience a lot of different things that I didn't experience with youth hockey. Good learning experiences and great stories I'll always have.
You're one of the lone guys on this team that's coming straight from ACHA hockey onto the roster. How did this opportunity arise for you, and how quickly did it all progress with you just graduating in July, and now, about 5 months later, you're playing pro hockey?
Yeah, extremely fast. It all progressed extremely fast. I was playing hurt. I had a high ankle sprain going into nationals, and I thought I was going to be done once we lost to. Well, personally, I think we lost to a team we shouldn't have lost to in our nationals game, and then I wasn't sure what I was going to do next, and then thankfully Coach Martinson reached out, and we were able to talk. And then I was able to reach out back to him. We were able to get into talks, and then it happened. And I think it was funny because one of my roommates was joking, and they were like, "Your name was the only name on the website for a while." So I was like, "Oh, I guess I was that first kid." And then it was just from there, everyone was like, "Oh, it was the first kid." But it was really cool, a really really cool experience. I was excited to join a team where I'm coached by such a coach that has the best reputation in hockey that I've ever had. And just over these short few games, I've learned so much. I'm blessed that I was able to communicate with them and join the team.
What kind of put you in that position to draw Coach Martinson's eye? Was it just because, he was kind of mostly based out of Illinois at that point? Did that have a large part to play in it?
Yeah, a massive part to play in it for sure. I was also his son was part of the Redbirds as well. That was one of our biggest connecting pieces there is too.
Matt, you've been in Illinois pretty much your entire life. Was it at all a difficult decision to move so far away from everything you've known?
Yeah, it's the South is the hospitality is awesome. The people have been awesome. The fans have been amazing. Um, I've never heard so many y'alls in my life. So that's something a little new for sure. And it was hard, being a little younger, moving. It was a 15-hour drive, not being able to wake up and, you know, if I wanted to go home from school for 2.5 hours, I was able to go. All my family is from Illinois, except for a couple people who live in Arizona. So again, this was a totally new area for me, and it's been really easy. The team's made it really easy. Again, the fans, the city of Athens has made it real easy, and I don't have zero regret for anything I've done so far.
That kind of segues beautifully into my next question. What has the learning experience been like for you this year, given that this is one of really the most veteran teams that we have in this league? And now you have the senior members of this team like Carter Shinkarik, Justin Portillo, Garrett Milan. What have guys like that in this team taught you in your first professional season?
Oh God, where do I start? Especially with those 3 names, like Carter's been. I couldn't think of a better like captain to learn from and watch what they do on a day-to-day life than Carter. Same with Portsy. Portsy's always getting us fired up, always teaching different things. Just watching these guys. Like I've never played juniors. I've never been in a fight, and I'm learning from like Ports, who I mean, that's got to be like learning from one of the best kids, the most dangerous kids in the league at fighting, and he's taught me so much in that respect, how to be a person. Same with Carter, same with Millsy. Millsy being there and being labeled as our assistant coach, he really does like teach little certain aspects. If he sees something, he's going to say something, and that's you can't ask for anything better than that, especially with all his knowledge, his skill. It's someone all three of them, but him too. It's just someone you want to be around and be a sponge and absorb all that stuff. Mallow Johnson too. He's been a great guy to like help out. Great locker room guy. You get to see how he conducts himself. Hard to play against, and almost I could go on and on about every single veteran on this team. They've all helped me so much. Being so young, it's really been a gift to learn from this team.
Garth, something that's stood out to me about you, whenever we see pictures of the team at events, reaching out to the community, talking to fans, it always seems like your face is out in the forefront. It really seems like you're taking to the community aspect of being a part of this team. What are you liking about kind of that whole realm thus far?
Everything the team, like the fans, especially at Illinois State, like we did a little bit of stuff along those lines, but it wasn't that much. And I always pushed that we should be doing more, getting involved with everything more often. Like we always had skate with the Redbirds and stuff, and the youth hockey team would come out, and that would be enjoyable. We should have done more. And so when the media team was asks for volunteers or whenever it is, especially with the youth hockey program that we've been working so closely with, one of the first times down here, doing the ball hockey, I had a blast. I think it's just as fun or more fun for me to be interacting with the kids, playing ball hockey with the kids. I even walked away with a battle scar. One of them cut my ankle, and it was awesome. It was the best time I ever had. Uh, just being on the team, getting out there and like showing that we're here, we're in the community. We want to help the community. We want to be involved and have fun. Not only put on a show on the ice, but be there in the community to help make it better. Help make it better.
A lot of work went into the first part of this season, 11 road games, everything building up to that first ever home game against the Seawolves. And you, of course, had the distinct pleasure to score the first ever goal in Akins Ford Arena, right in front of the Mississippi bench, about a step in front of the blue line. You sent a shot that their goaltender never saw. Maybe he saw it on the replay, but he didn't see it as it was coming his way. Just take us through that moment, what you saw, what you felt, and what you experienced from the time the pass made it to the blade of your stick to the time you took that knee at center ice.
Yeah, I could go back even to the beginning of the game when our names are calling out, and the energy that the fans in Georgia brought to a hockey game was shocking and awesome to see. I didn't know, I didn't know. I've never been to the South. I didn't know how many fans would be there to start, but the hype was true. The fans came out. It was unbelievable. It was a great experience for my first home game for sure. And the puck got on my stick, and I know you coach says a shot on net's never a bad shot. I took it, shot it. Portsy had a great screen. He's a big man to see around, so it makes a ton of sense why he never saw that shot. And it hit. I just saw it go in at the last second, and I couldn't believe it. It was two great feelings for me. One, a relief where I haven't scored in the year yet, and I got my opportunity to score, and it was like almost like a monkey off the back. Like, okay, like I'm here. I'm helping contribute to the scoring aspect. And then two, it hit me when I dropped to a knee in the center of the ice. Like, I scored the first goal in this home building, and to hear the fan support and it was, I mean, I still can't believe it till now. I had family text me, friends text me. Funny enough, Ed Coffey, the goalie, was a goalie that I played at Illinois State. He played for Maryville. So I had old teammates text me being like, no way, like your first goal was against Coffey, who we played last year against Maryville all the time. And I had scored on him a couple of times in college as well. So it was a surreal moment, and I can't believe it still.
I mean, talk a little bit more about, a year ago, you're thinking to yourself, all right, I'm going to graduate this summer. I'm going to try and get a sales job or, whatever my next step is. And now you're scoring a professional goal, your first ever professional goal. And not only that, but it came in such a big moment. I mean, talk about kind of what this means for you on a personal level.
It means a ton. I still get, whenever someone texts me or a family texts me, I still get a chill down my spine, and I know that I made the best decision I possibly could have made. The love of the game is always there, and it was still there when I was about to leave school, and I couldn't leave yet. I couldn't walk away from it yet. And again, going back to coach, to even be on the same bench as him and absorb the knowledge, like hockey for some it ends whenever. Sometimes it's unforgiving like that, right? And I love working with youth. So down the road, down the ladder, when it's all said and done, just to learn from coach, play in this league, and my drive, like my love for the game and working with youth hockey, that'll help me set up for a coaching job down the line as well, as long as I'm having that great piece of paper that says I was able to graduate from school.
Matt, you're the first guy on the team that I've gotten to talk to since that home game. It was electric for me, and I wasn't even on the ice. I mean, what were the feelings going through you and the boys' minds? Had anyone else on the team ever experienced anything like that before?
I can't speak for the rest of the team, but I've never experienced a new opening rink in a city that hasn't had much experience with hockey except for the UGA Bulldogs, and it was again, it's hard. It's awesome to have been a part of, for what everything that happened. Every game for us is a must win, right? We always come out. We always want to win. There is no losing. We all hate to lose. But that game felt like it was either a do or die, right? No one wants to see a team lose after all the hype, all the stuff that went into it, all the hard work the front office staff did, all the hard work the media team did, all the hard work you've done to promote the hype of the team. So it was relieving to get that win at home, and the reaction, besides hearing a couple of quarters or the fourth period at the end of the game when my parents were sitting in the stands, and listening to some of the fans talk about it. We're learning though, and Athens is here, and we're I think it's slowly becoming a hockey city, which is great.
No doubt, Matt. We're excited to get back in there. A home and away series this weekend against the Columbus River Dragons. Matt, thank you for joining me today.
No problem, team. Thanks for having me.
No problem. We're back here at Akins Ford Arena. That was our chat with Matt Garcia. As you can see, such a nice guy. He's been a man that has surprised us as of late. Last Friday, got the first ever goal in Akins Ford Arena history, the first of his pro career, coming out of Illinois State, just graduating back in July, and now dropping the gloves for the first time this season tonight and handling himself quite well against Hugh Anderson. We're here at the second intermission. We've got a scoreline of 2-1 in favor of the Rock Lobsters, but surprisingly enough, it wasn't a period that necessarily went to plan for the Rock Lobsters. Columbus with 15 shots compared to Athens 8 in the second period, but it was the Rock Lobsters who left the second and went into the third with a 2-1 lead, thanks to Malik Johnson, who was at the right place at the right time to stuff in a loose puck. Took a heavy hit for it, was very concerned when he dropped down to the ice, but luckily he popped up to his feet. Before that, at the 11:16 mark in the first period, Garrett Milan was able to open up the scoring with a fantastic wraparound goal. That was good for his 12th of the year. Ryan Hunter, 7 minutes later, with a late goal in the first period to tie things up at 1-1. Once again, the River Dragons with the Lions' share of chances in the second period, but were unable to find the back of the net past Jack Bostedt. Something else that is a real big part of the storyline here tonight is the play of Daniil Glukaryov, someone who's played a number of games this season, does not have a point to his name coming into tonight, but has 2 assists tonight. Something that we talked with Steve Martinson about was him trying to find someone to pair with Garrett Milan and Malik Johnson. That's been so difficult for him to find ever since the man who originally had that spot, Orca Weisblatt, went down with an injury and then a surgery that he is still recovering from. Daniil Glukaryov making himself available to be on that first line. He had a big opportunity to impress tonight. He had started to be put on that line late in the third period yesterday. I think he impressed in his opportunity there. Pretty much starts with the money line tonight, and he's looked cash money himself. Making the return to the ice is the Athens Rock Lobsters, led by Jack Bostedt. It's been another party atmosphere here at Akins Ford Arena, but also a heartwarming one considering the teddy bear toss that took place after the Garrett Milan goal that got things started here tonight. Everything to play for in this third period. And through the previous 2 meetings between these 2 teams, there has not been a game that has ended in regulation yet. A 6-5 shootout win for the Rock Lobsters back on November 16th in Columbus, playing in Columbus last night as well. An overtime loss on the Ryan Hunter goal for Columbus. The Rock Lobsters have not yet lost 2 games in a row this season, but they were handed their first ever overtime loss last night. Going into that game, they had played 5 overtime games, had won all 5, but they are now 5 for 6 on the season. Chris Hunt was sent off for elbowing and will start this third period in the box for the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. Carter Shinkarik also has about, trying to make the calculation here, roughly 7 minutes to serve on his inciting a opponent misconduct. Big opportunity for Columbus right off the rip here in the third period. Shout out to Tom Inlow in Section 114, Row J. Thank you for the birthday wishes. My 29th birthday today. I get to spend it with the Rock Lobster family that I love so dearly. Good clearance there by Riley Robertson. He makes his way back to the bench after slapping one the length of the ice. Petizian makes a play on the puck. Storjahan trying to gather some momentum out of his own zone. Has Wickline to his right, not going to be able to find him. Michael Greco gets there before the Columbus number 10. River Dragons able to regather possession of the puck. Garrett Milan trying to poke that puck off the possession of Storjahan. Slehetka had to be careful not to let that one free of the offensive zone. Slehetka again. Storjahan with a wrister. Took a redirect out front. A redirect that took it wide. Storjahan with a slapper. Another save from Bostedt. Bostedt with his 27th save tonight. Michael Greco makes a great read. Wasn't able to follow up with that puck as Slehetka sends it back into the Rock Lobster side of the ice. The Rock Lobster power play as of late hasn't looked great, but luckily their penalty kill has looked tremendous. Still 25 seconds left for the River Dragons to make an impression with their special teams. Riley Robertson has a puck emerge beneath him, back at the blue line for Doe. To his right is Underwood. Puck in the right face-off circle, back to the blue line for Doe. Hunter has a puck skip right past him. That allows the Rock Lobsters to clear, and that'll end the River Dragons power play. Rock Lobsters are back to even strength. That one was backhanded towards Malik Johnson, looking for his second goal of the night. Looking for his first multi-goal game as a Rock Lobster. Scored his third goal of the season to take a Rock Lobster lead in the second period. Hunt backhands one up the right side of the ice for the Rock Lobsters. Never got to Case and Gallant. Joe Colatarsi with a heavy body check on Scott Doherty. Case and Gallant forced to backhand it into neutral ice. Bostedt wants the icing. He's going to get it. WGAU and W254 CJ Athens, 98.7 FM and AM 1340 WGAU. I'd like to thank our newly found WGAU family for now carrying us on 98.7 FM and AM 1340. It's been a new foray for me onto the radio wavelengths, but it's mostly been a fun start to this partnership. Still a lot for me to figure out on that front. Malik Johnson. Long range shot, takes a couple bounces before reaching Petizian, who's able to push it away. Johnson now behind Petizian's net. Glukaryov from close range. All that's missing from his great night is a goal. Riley Robertson with a heavy slapper that got blocked out. Garrett Milan whiffs on a swing. Glukaryov slow to get back up to his feet. But he made it back onto his skates. Doherty with a great pass to the far side. Somero steps on the brakes. His pass never made it to Bersani. Malik Johnson tiptoes into the zone. Great puck protection from the Rock Lobsters, number 67. As it stands, his goal is the game winner. The River Dragons might have something to say about that. Cody Wickline with speed the other way. Ryan Galvin loses out on the handle of the puck. Malik Johnson making a good read here. Look at Malik Johnson. Can he get it back onto his left side? He gets wiped out on his way there. A dangerous play there from Hugh Anderson. Malik Johnson, great to see him get back to his feet. He's made some heavy turns toward the net tonight. He's gotten punished physically for them multiple times, but without that explorative decision towards the River Dragons net. The Rock Lobsters wouldn't currently be in the lead. Ty Benton says in the chat after hearing that I'm 29 years old, he says, "You are a youngster." I don't feel like a youngster anymore, man. The dark bags underneath my eyes don't tell me that I'm a youngster anymore. But and my back. No one ever tells you that your back is going to constantly get thrown out when you're 29. So the Rock Lobsters go to the power play on the hook from Hugh Anderson. Another chance to give the Rock Lobster fans $3 tacos at Paloma Park for 24 hours. Have had a few opportunities tonight. They've been unable to send the Rock Lobster fans a chance to get $3 tacos. Alden wins the draw, but there's not really anyone there to follow it up for him. Chris Hunt. That clearance stopped by Ronan. But a long distance clearance from the River Dragons. And there's already been 20 seconds shaved off the man advantage. Greco trying to start things off behind the Rock Lobster net. Pass to his rights for Troy Murray. Chris Hunt helps it into the zone. Can the Rock Lobsters set up on this power play? That's been half the challenge for them tonight. Brendan Ronan waiting for it. River Dragons have not made anything easy on this power play. Austin Doe gets dispossessed by Hunter Alden. Such a good two-way forward is Alden. Tries to poke that puck free. Nolan Slehetka backhands it out of the zone. Found the perfect amount of separation between Gallant and Kolatarsi to make the clearance on the puck. Top unit for the Rock Lobsters is out now with 38 seconds to go. $3 tacos hanging in the balance. Case of Gallant down to a knee, whips around with a pass. Kolatarsi, long distance shot, almost emerged for Garrett Milan to swing into the back of the net. Gallant looking for an opening, sends it back towards the net. Virgili behind the net. Getting mixed up there with Jamaev. Virgili dives to get there. Milan. Kolatarsi. Puck loose out in front. River Dragons get there first. That puck didn't get out of the zone initially, but now Samaro has a potential breakaway opportunity. Backhand is saved by Bostet. Another big-time save, and the door in the corner opens up. Slightly dangerous there, but we go to a timeout here. 13:36 left to go in the third period. We'll be back after this commercial break. Rock Lobsters lead 2-1 over the River Dragons. Farm Burger is defined by its mission, its farms, its team, and its family. In 2008, our co-founders gathered around a single idea: redefine the burger by bringing together a community of ranchers, farmers, chefs, restaurateurs, and eaters. Our promise is to strive every day and with every burger to uphold these core values to each and every one of you. We do that by holding ourselves to a higher standard. Grass-fed and grass-finished, that means our cattle are never fed grain. Our belief feeds our mission, and our mission is to feed you.
Since we opened in 1968, we've taken pride in our professional staff. Unparalleled customer service is our legacy. Experience the best, skilled hands and friendly faces. At Stanfield Air Systems, satisfaction is not just a guarantee, it's our tradition. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
Rock Lobsters have managed to keep a hold of this 2-1 lead in the third period. Power play over now for the Rock Lobsters. 13:38 to go in regulation. With how everything has gone in the all-time series between these two teams, you have a feeling that there is yet another twist to this tale. Pop off to Moore on the right side. Lofted towards the left. Garcia makes a play with his glove. Reller sends it into the zone. Petizian stops it right behind his net. Hunter with a great move to avoid the hit of Reller. Moore gets dispossessed. Reller sends it in on net. Petizian was forced to make a save on the long-distance clearance. Slehetka letting his team regroup. Garrett Milan tiptoes in, tries to take it between the legs of Slehetka. Moore banks it around to Nolan Slehetka, 25-year-old from Joliet, Illinois. Ryan Galvin in on the left side, trying everything he can to unleash a shot. I think it went into the side netting of Bostet's cage. Lukaryov trying to mark his already tremendous night with a goal. Garrett Milan lost sight of that pass from Malik Johnson that went from left to right. Johnson, puck back on the blade of his stick. He wipes out. Cody Wickline to Underwood in the back of the net. Kirk Underwood, the River Dragon captain with his 5th of the year, has tied things up. You just had that feeling that something that was going to change the narrative of this game once again was going to happen, because that's just been the nature of the 3 games that have occurred between these two teams. So at the 8:01 mark, Underwood scores his 5th. And now the Rock Lobsters have to try and take a lead for the 3rd time tonight. It's what they needed to do the last time they played here at Akins Ford Arena. Uh-oh, here come the River Dragons again. Great pass to Wickline. Bostet makes a big-time stop. Rock Lobsters need to wake up here as Austin Doe almost has a puck go off the blade of his skate. Wrister from Brendan Ronan into the glove of Petizian. Back and forth segment there of this 3rd period. Oxygen has been sucked out of this room a little bit after the Kirk Underwood goal. He's the River Dragon captain for the 3rd time in his career. He also wore the C at UNLV playing ACHA hockey and Chatham in D3. After Alden tries to take the puck with him, shot came from Chris Hunt. Petizian with multiple highlight reel saves both tonight and last night. Puck gets cleared out, and that will be an icing going against the River Dragons. Directing traffic before this faceoff is Hunter Alden on a line here with Chris Hunt and Brandon Reller. Brandon Reller had a great first period. Having seen Daniil Glukaryov register his first points as a Rock Lobster, he would love to get on the score sheet for the first time this season. Reller was bearing in on net, but Slehetka pokes the puck free. Then takes it over center ice into the zone. Joe Colatarsi wrestles Bersani to the ice. Chris Hunt pokes that one free. Brandon Reller gets there. Poked into the zone. Reller in an offside position, but the River Dragons are the one to touch. Puck dumped in, and another icing at 10:27 to go in regulation. The Rock Lobsters have played a total of 13 games this season. 6 of them have gone to overtime. Usually overtime has been a good omen for the Rock Lobsters, but they dropped their first ever overtime game last night in Columbus, Georgia. Milan wins the draw. Murray. That one came off of Reller. Reller forced back onto the ice, avoiding the too many men call. Garrett Milan feistily into the back of Underwood. Glukaryov has Milan, finds the top shelf once again. You can't hide anything on the top shelf from Garrett Milan. He'll find it, reminiscent of his goal against the Mississippi Seawolves in more ways than one, because he has once again taken a 3-2 lead for the Rock Lobsters. Goal number 13 on the year for the Rock Lobsters, number 10. That's his 4th multi-goal game of the year. My goodness. Such an entertaining player. The eldest player on this Rock Lobster team at 33 years old. You would never know by his physicality, his ability, his nose for big-time goals. His experience has been one of the most important aspects of this Rock Lobster roster this year. Brendan Ronan makes a great interception, but then loses out on the puck. Cody Wickline. The Rock Lobsters have taken a lead 3 different times in this game. Exactly what happened against the Mississippi Seawolves. But the River Dragons offense is one that you have to worry about a lot if you're the Rock Lobsters. Icing gets called against the Rock Lobsters once again. Will be an offensive zone face-off for the River Dragons, who have to try and tie this game up for the 3rd time tonight. Virgili going up against Jemayev. And it looks like instead we'll go to what looks like a media timeout here. So we'll be back after these messages. And you'll be able to hear about the Rock Lobster promo schedule for the rest of the year.
Rock
Lobsters.
Rock
Lobsters.
Rock the rink.
Here for fun.
Promo night.
Let's get it done.
Opening night.
Let's go.
B-52s.
Ready for the show?
Teddy bear toss.
Don't you know?
Hockey and hops.
Let drinks flow.
Glow night Sprite.
Bring the light.
Witch's broom.
Sorting hat. Wizard night. And you shall not pass.
Greek nights here.
Feel the cheer.
Stick it to cancer.
We're all here.
Pucks and paws.
Hockey and dogs.
Teacher appreciation.
Bring the squad.
Military pride.
Standing tall.
Faith and family.
All have a ball.
First responders.
Heroes true.
Star Wars night.
May the force be with you.
Golf nights coming.
Swing away.
Rock Lobsters.
Let's play.
Red,
White,
red,
white,
red,
white, blue.
Athens hockey, it's all new. Red,
White,
red,
white,
red,
white.
blades.
Athens hockey, here to stay.
Let's get ready.
Gang day.
Rule the ice.
Bring the fights.
Let's get loud.
Bring the crowd.
Rock Lobsters.
Rockin' out.
Tonight is one of our promotional nights. It was the Teddy Bear Toss tonight. It was a great way to celebrate my birthday. Next one will be Hockey and Hops on December 28th. And I think that's an even better way to celebrate my birthday. Just kidding. 3-2 lead here for the Rock Lobsters. 9:14 to go. Can they hold on to this advantage? It's going to be a tough ask. The Columbus River Dragons were able to edge out the Rock Lobsters 2-1 in overtime last night. Jason Gallant bats that one out of midair like he's Aaron Judge. Michael Greco in his comfort zone behind the net of Bostet. Takes it out. Banks one off the boards of the bench. Slehetka at the blue line. Long distance shot. Took a piece of the body of Kolatarsi. Puck loose out, bouncing all around. Rock Lobsters come out with it. Gallant. He seems hungry to get on the score sheet. Takes it into the corner. Slaps one toward behind the net. Chris Hunt has it. Murray backhands it towards Alden. Alden making an office behind Petizian. Kirk Underwood with the push. Ooh, that one poke checked by Chris Hunt towards the net. Hunter Alden with a great idea, but no one was there in the slot waiting for his pass. Ooh, Reller with a great pass from behind the net. Chris Hunt whiffs on the shot. Slehetka sends it into the zone. Bostet chooses to freeze.
Join us on December 31st for our New Year's Eve game, and don't miss your chance to own a piece of history. After the game, we also
Rock Lobsters with a 3-2 lead. Let's see who got the assists on that goal. Daniil Glukaryov with his third of the night. He gets the lone assist on the Garrett Milan goal. Daniil Glukaryov with 3 assists on the night. A hat trick of helpers, if you will. Still plenty of time left in this game for the River Dragons to get back into it. Puck pinned to the boards on the far side. There's a better look. Guess who? Glukaryov comes out with it. Banks a pass towards Malik Johnson, but it never got there. Balkwell. No icing, as Bersani got a tip to it at the blue line. Milan to Glukaryov. Has had a great night. Can he get a goal to come with it? Oh, my goodness. A number of good moves there, but couldn't finish it off. Bersani with a slapper from long distance. We'll have a second bite of the cherry after that shot's blocked. Johnson to Glukaryov, who has been a lightning rod in this game. Oh, my God, Glukaryov was taking it hard to the net. We are seeing some confidence in him, the likes of which we have not seen yet from the Russian this season. Looks like he's really becoming attuned to the North American game. Gallant in the corner, steps on the brakes. On the edge of the face-off dot, kicked by Greco. Sends the shot, saved with the blocker of Petizian. Gallant with the pass, comes off the far boards. Virgili makes a play on it. Sends a pass towards the slot. Brendan Ronan couldn't poke it in. Storjahan trying to send the River Dragons the other way. It's been a much better offensive period for the Rock Lobsters. And yet the River Dragons have the 34-26 shot advantage. Slehetka. Long distance. That one, I think, went off the bar and out. Deja vu from last night where the River Dragons thought they took a 2-1 lead in the second period, but it went barred down and out. Referees got a good view of that one, though. No video review needed this time. Alden. That puck went straight up into the air. I think the referees lost sight of it and then blew the whistle. 5:13 left to go. Rock Lobsters with a lead after Garrett Milan logged his second goal of the night, his fourth multi-goal game of the year. Makeshift line, at least temporarily here. Malik Johnson with Hunter Alden and Brandon Reller. Hunter Alden going up against Alexander Jemayev. Referee doesn't like the way the faceoff is taken. We'll do the faceoff once again. Both teams have been able to stay disciplined for the most part in this third period. Of course, the period started with a River Dragons power play, and there was a Rock Lobster power play later on. Those have been the only two special teams necessary points of this third period. Lukaryov, who's dazzled in this period of 20 minutes. Finds Milan. Shot just goes wide. Got a piece of Petizian. Milan with a backhand pass. Johnson almost tries to bank it off the back of Petizian and in. Kyle Moore finds Jemayev, who works right to left in neutral ice. Back for Underwood, who scored to make it 2-2. Murray flips one off the glass all the way to River Dragon defenseman Balkwill. Great pass from the right side, but the shot was blocked by the Rock Lobsters. And then here comes Chris Hunt with speed the other way. Takes a hip check, stands up with it. Reller on the backhand. Behind him has Hunter Alden. Chris Hunt was looking for the deflection. It takes a piece of his stick and goes up into the netting to stop play. We take a commercial break here. 3:53 to go in regulation. Can the Rock Lobsters hold on to take a 2-1 series advantage against the River Dragons, their in-state rival? We'll be back right after this. UGA football player Amarius Mims suffered a serious injury. The quality care from the Piedmont team changed his life.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game. But you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
We're seeing the tail end of the kiss cam here at Akins Ford Arena. But all the action is happening on the ice. Rock Lobsters have been able to get a little bit closer with the shot tally, down 35-28. They're even in the third period, 8 apiece. Rock Lobsters with a 3-2 lead after Garrett Milan once again found at the top shelf against an opposing goaltender. Wickline standing on his blue line, gets dispossessed by Brandon Reller. Chris Hunt sends it back into the River Dragon zone. Underwood with a poke check at the boards. Garcia has to go and play fetch on it. Kolatarsi right onto the blade of Hunter Alden's stick. Petizian chooses not to freeze. Maybe a bad idea. Brandon Reller can't get it back to his forehand to try and challenge Petizian. He was right on the doorstep. Contemplating who our 3 stars might be tonight. It might be one line that make it up. Brendan Ronan makes a step up, prevents that puck from traversing across the glass. Virgili gets a piece of it, but still gives an opportunity for Hugh Anderson to send a backhand shot on Bostedt, who once again makes the save. Another reminder over the loudspeaker. Hockey and Hops, December 28th, 7 p.m. The Terrapin Tap Room was the host of our watch party last night. Would have loved to be there with the Rock Lobster fans watching. I had a job to do in Columbus, you know. If you haven't already, make sure you take a trip on out to Terrapin Tap Room to watch a Rock Lobster away game. Malik Johnson, the first one to settle the puck out of the faceoff. Glukaryov. Slehetka with a shot from the line. Rock Lobsters have done a great job of getting their bodies in front of River Dragons shots. Robertson to his partner Carter Shinkarik, who has served his time on his 10-minute penalty, is down to a knee to try and prevent any shot from Slehetka, able to do so. Glukaryov might have a free chance in on goal. He's had a great night. All he's missing is a goal. It comes right back at him, but able to recover after making the initial stop was Petizian. Two minutes to play here at Akins Ford Arena. Can the River Dragons put yet another thorn into the claw of the Rock Lobsters and tie this game up for the third time tonight? Kolatarsi thought about making a pass, but very wisely looked at the clock and saw that there's very little left to be played in this game. River Dragons need to be a little bit quicker with this puck here. Time drifting off the clock. Alden good on the forecheck once again, asking for the change. Brandon Reller's been a nuisance once again, but Hunter able to move into the Rock Lobster half. Balkwill wheels it around, back onto this near side. 1 minute to play in this game. But the River Dragons have scored. Another twist to this tale late on. Wheeling away to celebrate is the number 10 for the River Dragons, Cody Wickline. Cody Wickline had a goal waved off last night to make it 2-1, but he ended up getting his tally to tie it up late on in this game, and it looks inevitable at this point that for the third time in the 3 meetings between these two teams that we will be going to an overtime. The third time in the 3 games between these two teams, and the 7th time for the Rock Lobsters this season. So close were the Rock Lobsters to getting out of Akins Ford Arena with 3 points. And now the maximum they can take is 2, as this game looks certain to go to overtime. Good time to remind you about the overtime scoring rules. You can only get 3 points if you go and win the game in regulation. If you make it to overtime, you earn at least a point, even if you lose. If you win in overtime, you get 2. That remains the same if you win in the shootout. Long conversation here. Don't really know what's being discussed. Cody Wickline will hope that it won't take yet another video review of his goal after the way last night went. Confirmation of the goal. 1909 for Cody Wickline. Assist from Jemayev and Storjahan, the 2 Alexes with the helpers. It looks like we're going to have a media timeout here with less than a minute to go. So Looks like we are heading close to overtime here in Akins Ford Arena. So you're going to want to make sure that you stay tuned with us here on the Rock Lobster Network. There's only one place you can deck yourself out and represent Athens' first ever pro hockey team, the Rock Lobsters. Head to shop.rocklobstershockey.com to get your hats, shirts, and even jerseys now. Classic City Flats is a brand new apartment community in Athens, Georgia that redefines luxury living, offering a sleek and contemporary living experience. Our impeccably designed apartment homes boast sophisticated interiors, premium amenities, and exquisite finishes, providing residents with an unparalleled downtown living experience. Had to cut off that commercial as play is resumed here in the third period. Still an opportunity for either of these teams to win it in regulation. Ooh, that was shot from long distance. Bostedt had to bat out with his blocker. A little slip from Riley Robertson, but it sends the Rock Lobsters on their way. Is there yet another late goal in this contest? That one took a touch of the River Dragons bench. So a face-off here with exactly 18 seconds to go. Looks like it's going to be an offensive zone draw. So let's see if they have almost like a set-piece play drawn up here by Steve Martinson if Garrett Milan is able to win the face-off. Milan against Jemayev. The River Dragons win the face-off. Bersani onto the stick of Jemayev. Shinkarik takes the body. Kolatarsi follows it up. Rings it around to Glukaryov. Malik Johnson with a great move into the glove of Petizian. Oh my goodness. Malik Johnson with a breakaway chance stopped by Petizian. And for the 7th time this year, the 3rd time between these two teams, we'll be going to an overtime period. For those of you who are tuning in with us on radio for the first time tonight, we're going to take a quick break for our station identifier, WGAU and W254CJ Athens, 98.7 FM and AM 1340 WGAU. So the River Dragons make it reminiscent of the first time these two teams met, but instead of the Rock Lobsters with the game-tying buzzer beater, it's the River Dragons. They have sent this game to an overtime. For those of you who are joining us on the radio wavelengths for the first time this season, this is also our first overtime on our radio broadcast, so the way things will go, there will be 3-on-3 hockey for 5 minutes. If that's still not enough to separate these two teams, it will be decided in a penalty shootout. The Rock Lobsters have 5 overtime wins to their name this season. 2 of those have come in the shootout. They were handed their first overtime loss last night by their very adversaries in this game. Taking a look at how these two teams are going to line up, it looks like it's going to be Underwood, Hunter, and Storjahan for the River Dragons. Right now, out for the Rock Lobsters is Glukaryov, Milan, and Shinkarik. The Rock Lobsters have had to take a lead in this game 3 different times. Can they put a pin into the River Dragon balloon and take the ultimate lead to win it in overtime? Storjahan against Milan. will be the opening face-off as we have free hockey here in Akins Ford Arena. Milan slaps it ahead, collected by the River Dragons Underwood. Glukarioff with a poke check, gets that puck loose, takes it into the corner, trying to make a play on it. Gets it back to Shinkarik. Shinkarik to Milan. Milan with a quick U-turn, trying to get it towards net, loses a little bit of a handle, gets it back into his grasp, trying to find a way to get it to Glukarioff instead. Goes for the wraparound. Milan sitting on a hat trick. No Rock Lobster has a hat trick to their name this season. Both teams will make changes. Actually, it looks like the River Dragons sticking with their three-man unit here. Virgili, Gallant, and Kolatarsi out for the Rock Lobsters. Gallant bats that one back into his own zone. Didn't have to win the foot race, just had to get in front of Hunter to try and make life more difficult, make sure he didn't beat Kolatarsi. That's what he did. Gallant has to be careful with the puck, down to the ice, able to get it back to Kolatarsi though. Three leads for the Rock Lobster. 3 times the game has been tied by the River Dragons. Shinkarik didn't like what he saw in front of him. We'll take another look, gives a chance for Virgili and Gallant to change. Out in their places, Brendan Ronan and Malik Johnson. Shinkarik gathers momentum from behind the net. Ronan almost losing out on the puck. Drop pass for Shinkarik over center ice. Wheels around once again. Back into his own zone. It's wise from Shinkarik because right now they're just not getting the clean handles they want into the River Dragon zone. Malik Johnson puts a stop to that, carries it in. Pass went through the legs of Ronan. Shinkarik. Back to Ronan. Chance for the number 28 to make amends. Took a shrug up high off of Balkwell. Kyle Moore gets dispossessed by Murray. Milan with a chance for that trick. Oh! Silky moves and in a backhand chance, which is saved by Petizian. What an exclamation mark that would have put on the night for Garrett Milan. Would have got him his hat trick and would have sent the home fans back to their domiciles happy. Milan is going to stay on the ice here with Glukarioff, directing Troy Murray to the far side boards. Glukarioff has to get on his horse here. Storjahan takes it over and is able to prevent the pass from coming to Slehetka. Here comes Garrett Milan once again. One man against one man. Number 10 against number 10. Going up against Wickline. Tries to send it towards the slot. Petizian lost sight of it, but it was into his side netting. And Slehetka tries to calm things down a little bit. It's been a better overtime period for the Rock Lobsters thus far. Overall in this game, the River Dragons have a shot advantage at 36-33. Two minutes to go in the overtime period. Galvin. Kirk Underwood pirouettes to his left. Over the red line. Stomps on the brakes. Wipes Case and Gallant out. Underwood scored to make it 2-2. Can the River Dragons captain put an end to this game? Not going to happen here. Virgili gets the pass from Garcia. Virgili to Ronan. Ronan still with the puck. With a wrist shot. Just misses the top shelf. Shinkarik in behind now. Ronan can't keep it from creeping over the blue line. Virgili makes way for Johnson. Ronan drops it for Shinkarik. Minute to play in overtime. Shinkarik tiptoes in. Wheels around the net. Leaves it for Ronan. A really good defensive play from Slehetka. Can't take the puck with him, though. Johnson was just able to get back on side, preventing the offside call against Ronan. Jemayev dancing around. Finds Slehetka. Just takes a piece of Bostet's glove into the glass behind the net. Malik Johnson takes a spill. Rock Lobster fans want a call, and they're not going to get one. Shot never challenged Bostet, though. And that's going to do it for the overtime period. So for the first time in Akins Ford Arena history, we are going to have a shootout here. You can alternate 3 shooters in the FPHL, but then after that, you're allowed to use whatever shooter as many times as you like. The first time these two teams ever met, the only player to find the back of the net on the shootout was Carter Shinkarik, who went top shelf after going forehand-backhand on William Lavalier. But now there's a new goaltender in net for the River Dragons, and Matt Petizian, and what a return he's made from the injured reserve. We'll take a look at how we got to this point. It's been a topsy-turvy game between these two teams. It all started in the first period. Garrett Milan with a wraparound goal at the 11:16 mark. About 7 minutes later, Ryan Hunter followed it up. He has been absolutely on fire for the River Dragons as of late. Malik Johnson with his 3rd of the year to make it 2-1 and take another lead for the Athens Rock Lobsters. Kirk Underwood was able to tie it up in the 3rd period before Garrett Milan found the top shelf about 2 minutes later to take a 3-2 lead. But the River Dragons weren't done there despite the 3rd period goal from Athens, as Cody Wickline was able to find the back of the net with less than a minute to play, sending us to overtime. For the 3rd time in 3 meetings between these two teams. This is now the 7th overtime game for the Rock Lobsters this year, and this is the 3rd shootout. They have won on both previous shootouts. Kaysen Gallant is someone who is featured heavily in the shootout this year for the Rock Lobsters. I believe he's the only shooter to appear in both previous shootouts. Actually, that's not true. The other is Brandon Picard, but Picard not available to the Rock Lobsters tonight, was a scratch. Just a few seconds to go here before we start. The 2 number 30s in net. Bostet stretching out those hamstrings to make sure that he can get to wherever he needs on that bottom shelf of the net. Ryan Galvin welcomed to the ice to a chorus of boos. He takes it from the left. Wrister saved by Bostet. So whoever has the best tally of goals through 3 shots taken will win the shootout here. And the first shooter for the Rock Lobsters will be Garrett Milan. Milan, a left-handed shot, takes the puck from center ice, takes it to the right side of the rink. Petizian well out of his crease. Milan can't find the nylon behind him. Even at 0 tallies thus far in the first round of shots. And Ryan Hunter, who's really made a name for himself this season, will be the second shooter for the River Dragons. Bostet makes a stop, closes the 5-hole, which is where Hunter tried to hunt for. Kason Gallant has a shootout goal to his name this year. To answer the question in the chat, no. If Garrett Milan were to score in the shootout, it would not count as a hat trick. Shootout goals do not go to your season tallies. Kason Gallant, right-handed shooter from the left, just misses wide. Was able to evade Petizian, but did not avoid, also avoided the net in the meantime, unfortunately. Wickline had a big-time goal to tie things up, and he might have the big-time goal that takes it in the shootout. Advantage to the River Dragons through 2 rounds of shots, and now Carter Shinkarik must score, otherwise this game is over. Carter Shinkarik has a shootout goal against the River Dragons this season. It's do or die here for the Rock Lobster captain. But he can't find a way past Petizian. Petizian slams the net down onto the ice. And a game that had so many ups and downs for the Rock Lobsters ends in disappointment as they fall in the shootout to the River Dragons. What that means for the standings is the River Dragons will take 2 points out of this, just as they did last night, not the full 3 points that one would win in regulation. The Rock Lobsters take 1 point after losing in overtime. That puts them on 27 points. River Dragons now on 39 points for the year. A great game. All that was missing was the result for the Rock Lobsters. We'll take a look at the big picture. Garrett Milan with a goal to open it up on a wraparound at the 11:16 mark of the first period. An answer from Columbus through Ryan Hunter about 7 minutes later in that period. Only 1 goal in the second through Malik Johnson to take a 2-1 lead for the Rock Lobsters. Once again, the River Dragons found a way to respond through River Dragon captain Kirk Underwood to tie it up 2-2 in the third. Rock Lobsters thought they had the game won. 2 minutes later, Garrett Milan found the top shelf to take a 3-2 lead, but Cody Wickline was the author of the narrative here twice. A late goal in the last minute to tie things up at 3-3, and then emerged once again in the shootout to put the dagger in the back of the Rock Lobsters. The 3 stars will go down as such on the federalhockey.com website. 3rd star Malik Johnson, a goal and assist for 2 points. Garrett Milan with 2 goals and a 2nd star tonight. Cody Wickline with 2 goals and an assist for a total of 3 points on the night. The River Dragons will travel to Blue Ridge to take on the Bobcats next weekend. As for the Athens Rock Lobsters, they return here to Akins Ford Arena. This is the first of 9 straight home games, and they will take on the Port Huron Prowlers, making the trip all the way from Michigan down here to Akins Ford Arena. For those of you that tuned in either on the radio airwaves tonight for 98.7 FM WGAU and AM 1340 or on the Athens Rock Lobster Network on the official Athens Rock Lobster YouTube page, thank you for tuning in all night long. This is Matt Teen Rad saying so long from Akins Ford